What's happening here that's not happening anyplace else?
I mean, the competitive level starts at 4 years old.
Classic rivalry.
Hall of Fame type coaches, great personalities.
All three schools, though, they changed the game of college football.
Florida State Seminole, Miami Hurricanes,
Florida Gators.
You want to dominate your opponents and you want to get stoned, make sure that you roll up.
What's happening here that's not happening anyplace else?
I mean, the competitive level starts at 4 years old.
Classic rivalry.
Hall of Fame type coaches, great personalities.
All three schools, though, they changed the game of college football.
Florida State Seminole, Miami Hurricanes, Florida.
It's the roll up, it's the vibes. Sorry for the wait, guys, but we are kind of kicking with the illest. Larion, CJ, what it do?
What's up, man? Windy Dan, Savannah, Georgia. Came home for a little minute, come say hello to my people this weekend. We're checking in live from the worst Western. Hey, I'm on a budget, baby. I can't afford all my fly hotels right now. What's going on, C?
No, pretty good, man. It's been a pretty eventful weekend for me, man. This morning, did some stuff with Garnet and Gold, shot some stuff with them. That's going to be coming out pretty soon, man. Came back home, hung out a little bit, and got prepared for the show, man. Really excited about this one.
Oh, you're a supermodel now. That's how you doing it, man?
We working, baby. We working, baby.
See, man.
I see the video shooting
Lion. Yeah, I'm about to say shout out to Lion, man. Lion and home.
I'm modeling, yeah.
It's gonna be.
It's funny. My profile say plus size male model, and I be getting requests every once in a while.
Hey man, come on out here, man. We think you'd be a good fit.
Hey, we got something for you, man. I'll be like, bro, I just be bullshit. Unless the check is right.
Right.
We're gonna be kicking it pretty heavy today. We got a eventful show. We moved the show from Wednesday at noon to back to a Sunday evening type vibe. Around the time we used to do No Cap. So we got plenty of friends of the shows, fans of the show coming to kick it with us. But most importantly, we have Steve Wiltfong that's gonna come vibe with us and hang out and talk some college football recruiting when it pertains to the big three, Florida State, and Miami. It was draft weekend, so we're going to talk a little bit of the draft as well. Very eventful on the timeline. We was letting trolls fly. Overall, how was y'all boys' draft weekend, man, before we get Steve on? And we're also running producer list, so I'm doing this all behind the scenes. So if it's a little clunky, y'all bear with us, man. I'm doing the best I can, but we're going to get Wiltfong on here in a minute. But how was your boys' draft weekend? Y'all been enjoying yourself?
Oh, yeah, man. It was really good, man. And shout out to those guys. And also, shout out to those guys that got drafted, man. Dreams come true.
Absolutely.
Real talk, man. That I know once those guys got that phone call, it was like a sour relief from, middle school, part one of middle school, high school, college, the ups and downs to get that phone call, man. And there was a lot of suspense on draft day, man. So shout out to those guys. But definitely enjoyed it. I always say that for males, and I'm not gonna say for males, but just sports fans in general, it's like a national holiday, man. Draft day. So it was definitely an eventful one. The trolls were pretty fun on the timeline. All in all, man, it was definitely a good weekend.
I think my favorite story from the weekend, man, I didn't know CJ Stroud and Bryce Young were boys like that. I didn't know that. And I thought that was super dope for them boys to be first and second pick. Like, man, you can't draw it up. You know what I mean? Like, the last time I heard something similar to that would probably be Clayton Kershaw and Stafford. They grew up friends, playing Little League together and all that. And for them boys to both go, respectively, number one in, Kershaw in baseball and Stafford in football, that's amazing, man. That's just a dope story to hear. So I thought that was really dope. Anthony Richardson going fourth to the Colts, as I predicted. I just had the wrong pick at first. Good for him, man. I know Gaines was very, very, very proud of that, man. And so, I got my little troll on real quick. Jokes aside, I really am rooting for him, and I hope he does do well.
Yeah, especially a local kid, man. I know a lot of local people within Gainesville that knew him.
Man, they cried tears of joy, man.
Yeah, man, because one of my boys in Silk met him at the party. He coached in that Gainesville East Side, man. So he's been pretty tapped to him for a long time, man. So to see that community kind of celebrate that, man, it's something you'll see often, man. So it's definitely shout out to the Gainesville people. Before we get into our ad read it and get the guest on, man, if you guys have any questions specifically for Steve, definitely hit the super chat. He can get those questions answered. So any question you guys have specifically, hit the super chat and we'll get those up and going and get it answered for you.
And also hit that like and subscribe. Like and subscribe to the vibes. We're gonna keep the visual content fresh and going. We're getting back into the studio again to get some confessions and rivalry shit talking off. So subscribe to the vibes, man. Tell a friend and tell a friend. Also, man, one time before we get Wiltfong on here, one time for our sponsors and the people that are powering the Roll Up Network, take a vacay. Visit takeavacay.com. Use coupon code ROLLUP at checkout for 15% off of Delta 8 THC products. Included in the vape flavors of cherry pie, bubblegum OG for the OGs, Blue Dream, and also Shroud Nana. All those flavors are fire. They have gummies in the flavor of blue raspberry, kiwi, watermelon, and pomegranate. If you're not into Delta 8 or any THC products, they have natural products that are for sleeping, called the Sleepy Gummies. Ashwagandha, lemon balm, melatonin, and other natural botanicals is what it's derived of. Great for sleep. Replace that with a glass of wine. You get something healthy right before bedtime instead of putting those calories on in bathing suit season. You know what I'm saying? Keep it clean, keep it sexy, baby. Roll up at checkout, 15% off. Let's hang out with my man, Steve Wiltfong.
Gentlemen, what's happening? Thanks for having me back on, man. It's one of my favorite shows to join. You guys were talking about Kershaw and Stafford going to the same high school. Do y'all know the best set of teammates ever in the history of high school sports? Or
Randy Moss and
it's
Jason
not an
Williams.
opinion, but once I tell you who I think it is, I don't think it's an opinion.
Randy Moss, Jason Williams.
Anyone else got one?
No, that was gonna be my guess right there.
Yeah, that was gonna be my guess as well. That was a pretty good one.
Man, Bill Russell and Frank Robinson went to the same high school.
Oh, really?
Together.
Wow, that's crazy. Imagine the guys they played against.
So, yeah, and then obviously after their Hall of Fame careers, I think their first black Major League Baseball manager and first black NBA coach too. So all from the same high school.
I draw some history.
That's definitely the GOAT. That's the trump card there. I didn't know that.
And then I think they were both player coaches too. Could you imagine player coaches right now?
LeBron.
LeBron said LeBron's already won, right?
Sure, but yeah, Frank Robinson batted himself third one game and hit a home run in his first game as manager, I think, or something like that. But, the other one, I think you got Ozzie Smith, Eddie Murray, and Tony Gwynn. I think were all high school teammates too. Which Tony Gwynn was a great basketball player in college too.
That I would have never guessed.
Yeah,
because Tony was a little pudgy dude. I never would have guessed he was like a baller like that, a little hooper.
Now, there's obviously some really good football combinations in your guys' state over the years in high school football. But
for sure.
Those I just mentioned are kind of legendary.
That's up there. Yeah. I like it.
Wiltfong is the GOAT when it pertains to college football recruiting and crystal balls, predicting where kids going to end up. How's that changed for you, man? We're going to get into some Big Three talk, but how has the landscape changed? How do you predict, and how do you approach your whole way of doing this thing with NIL and all that?
Oh, I just think NIL is just another factor that these young men are making their college decisions on, but I don't think it's kind of changed the crystal ball. You got your set of prospects that are, they trend one school and they kind of know what they're going to do. And so it's easier to figure out, make a prediction for that. But, a lot of these other young men, they're going through the process and it's not as easily defined for them. And the funny thing for me is, obviously people say I flip them a lot too, which is accurate, but people act like they've never made a big decision before when they get on me about that. Like a young man can't change his mind or the information can't change. So if you're sitting down and you're talking to Mario Cristobal and his people, and he didn't get that job by accident, or you're sitting down with Billy Napier and his people, and he didn't get that job by accident, and same goes with Mike Norvell and his. Your whole thought process on what you thought you knew might have completely changed, in the course of a conversation or a visit or new information or a coaching change or, an NFL draft or whatever. So, trying to keep up with those twists and turns and let readers know, hey, this is what I think today, but it's not. It doesn't mean it's happening for sure. and so, but NIL is obviously something that every prospect is interested in some capacity, whether that's, what's my value right away, or what is my potential value if I do X, Y, and Z. It's a relevant talking point for everybody.
And Steve, you kind of brought up a point in regards to, overall, you're well-rounded across the entire country in regards to these relationships and getting this information and putting these picks in. Just the relationships you build over time across the country. Like it's, some people are kind of tapped in a certain area and they have relationships in a certain area, but for you, it's pretty much all over. Just the reach you have. Just speak about that, and I guess the relationships you built over the year to kind of get to that point.
Well, I'm just very fortunate to have time on my side right now. I've been, covering recruiting for 16, 17 years, been a sports writer since August of 2000. So, time's flown. And with that, I've been fortunate enough to meet a lot of people along the way and connect with them. And that's the best part of the job, honestly, is building relationships with people, seeing their success, high school coaches seeing their success, trainers seeing their success, kids and their families seeing their success. There's always a couple prospects each cycle that you get close with, and some make it, some don't, but you keep in touch with their parents or their family or the young man himself. And so through that, that helps make predictions. And I think, most people see the prediction as something that helps build up the moment and also brings eyeballs to it, right? Because at the end of the day, that brings more attention to something that's about to happen and gets more eyes on it. And I know, again, I'm very fortunate, but I know when a crystal ball prediction goes in, that profile's trending #1 on our site all day. People are clicking on it. And I got to think that there's social media, because then when I make a prediction, there's people that don't believe it. So they'll go, if I predict for Florida, the Florida State Board's like, I just went to his Instagram and his last 9 likes are Florida State.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So these predictions, it's good. It's not like it's
provocative.
News press. Normally it's like, hey, I'm predicting Larion to Miami and he's a hell of a player. If I'm predicting this would be a great pick. So it's good press. It's good positive press. And I know every once in a while people, don't like the predictions, but I mean, I would just say, hey, brings good news. It brings potential good news. And hey, sometimes they're wrong. I mean, that nobody's over here batting 1,000. Sometimes they're right in the moment, and then things change.
Right.
It's
right.
And then I didn't know it changed. So sometimes I missed that. Like Jason Marshall, I think was one of them where I think he was, and
that's a legendary one.
Felt good about Bama, and 2 days later he was a Gator. And shout out to Hova and them for that, right?
Right.
How do you embrace the love/hate? Because I can imagine being in your shoes of just like you said, because people gonna get mad at you like you were the one that shifted the decision, and it's like the man is just taking a educated, I wouldn't call it a guess really, but making an educated decision essentially. But how do you? Because I would love it. I would love everybody being mad at me, but how do you?
I had a crystal ball for like 14 months, man, and it's no one man should have all that power, Larion, is what I was saying.
So I'm 40 now, so obviously when I was 30, you could get condescending back with people and stuff, but and that was wrong of me, right? Like this is I'm in a diehard space. I'm not with fans that are just watching the game on Saturday.
Not casual.
The people that are reading the stuff that I write know all 85 scholarship players on the depth chart and are vested in their program. And they got awesome tailgates and they got cool behind the scenes stories and all kinds of stuff going on, right? And so I understand that with that sometimes might come you're so personally vested in something that you love that brings you joy in whatever capacity you go about it, that it just comes with the territory that, you get pissed off if you're not going to get a recruit, or if you think I'm wrong, or you think I'm a flip-flopper or whatever. I just honestly I'm just appreciative that they're reading it, and I get it. And I know that I can win them back later if that staff gets hot. And if that staff doesn't get hot, I just know eventually they're not going to like that staff.
Easy work, man.
So,
it ain't me.
So, yeah, so I have my good moments with all three of your guys' fan bases, and then there's some times where, particularly Florida more than the other two, for whatever reason, the Florida fans are uniquely unique amongst the diehards, but they come hard when they're not happy, But I like it, respect it, and so it'll be exciting. And that's why I really appreciate you, Silk, because sometimes I think you just are like, man, Steve needs my help today.
Yeah. I'm trying to help out the PR, bro.
Hater or anybody hater, There's there's people and there's probably someone in every building, whether it's someone on the roster or on a staff that I like, that I want to see do well. So. I assure you, I'm just trying to bring good news to all the fan bases. You notice I don't really cover the decommitments. Like, I'm never. If the school goes on a string of decommitments, that's not me writing about it. Honestly, that's not my. That's
not my bag either.
That's not my MO. Other people do it, but that's not me.
Yeah, me neither, man. We was talking. Speaking of just good news and positive, we was talking pre-show. And you were saying there's some momentum and some energy and what these programs about to pop, but you're trying to figure out which one. You mentioned Florida State, maybe. What you feeling? What's the buzz?
Now they got to go out.
Seminole recruitment, baby. Talk to us. These people want to hear it, Steve. Lay it
Florida State is like, if you would ask anyone, I would think it's like, which of the Sunshine State 3 is in best position right now to have a great year this year, you would have to say Florida State. But they have to go out and actually respond to having some success, which is some people read their press clippings and then they don't come back and perform the way you thought that they were going to perform. Like Texas A&M a couple years ago when they went 12-1 and finished in the top 5. They're a national title contender all of a sudden, and they haven't played to that caliber since. Now, I still think they're talented. They made some good hires, so we'll see what happens. So Florida State, kind of the same thing, right? You're returning 86% of your roster. There's probably a lot of guys walking around in that facility that think they're going to get drafted next year. You got a Heisman candidate under center. You're bringing in a good recruiting class. You're recruiting at a high level in 23 and 24. But you still got to go out and execute it now and not believe your own hype. And really there's going to be a little bit more of a target on their back this year as well. So, but Florida State's in great shape. Now, I like Miami. That was a hell of a class that Mario Cristobal and them signed this last cycle. It was the best offensive line class in the country. They continue to stack running backs, playmakers at the skill positions. I think that they landed some nice backers like Caleb Spencer there. Damari Brown was a big recruiting win at the end of the cycle. I'm curious to see what Miami and Florida, more so Miami right now, but the quarterback of the future from a recruiting standpoint, and maybe that's not even relevant with the portal, but it probably still is. And they got some guys that are talented, but they're not, like you're saying, they're no-brainers today. And then Florida, man, Florida, they're in the SEC. You cannot win consistently in that conference without ass kickers at the point of attack, on defense particularly. And Florida finally recruited an SEC defensive line haul, multiple people, like to win the recruiting battle, to beat Alabama and to beat Georgia for a few guys. That wasn't happening under Coach Mullen. Now they got Gervin Dexter, but they offered Gervin Dexter in camp. Credit to them for getting him there and offering him, but they didn't have to beat nobody for Gervin Dexter. They had to have some legit recruiting wins to get Cameron and those guys in the last cycle at the point of attack. Kelby Collins, those were legit recruiting wins. Kirby Smart went in home late with Kelby Collins. All right, so there's always recruiting behind the scenes. So Florida had some very legit recruiting wins up front. Obviously, they have DJ Lagway committed in this class, which I would be excited about. Lincoln Riley only recruited 2 quarterbacks this cycle. Dylan Raiola and DJ Lagway right now. And so I think that says a lot about DJ Lagway's potential. And it'll be up to Florida to get it out of him. But what a great kid he is. He's awesome. But all three programs, I like where the arrow is, but Florida State is the one that I would say I'm the most bullish on today as I talk to you. But we always have the right to change our minds, right? And Miami, again, I think Miami, they signed the best offensive line class in the country last year. They're going to try and sign the best defensive line class in the country this year. They're in the middle of it for a lot of guys, and I think that I think they're going to hit on some of them dudes. And so it's going to be interesting to see how they continue to build it up. I like the coordinator hires for Miami. I thought those were good, and so exciting times. Florida State's obviously got their quarterback of the future in Luke Cromanote, in my opinion. And so in a down year at the position, they also got a good player at under center in the fold.
Steve, can you speak on Luke for a second? Because a lot of FSU fans are really high on him. I know at the beginning of the cycle, he was one highly rated kid due to sitting behind a blue chip quarterback that went to Auburn, if I'm not mistaken. But his progression over the last year or so, he's now a top 5 quarterback in the rankings. A lot of FSU fans believe he could be a 5-star. Can you speak on Luke's how can I put this? Just his prospects as a prospect within the 247 ranks. How do you guys view Luke Cromahawk in regards to his progression?
Well, we love him, obviously, right? We invited him to the All-America Bowl, and Florida State. It's obviously well known at this point that they had him in camp and offered him a scholarship before he was the starter, and got him in the fold. I think maybe they beat Georgia Southern. Don't hold me to that exact comment, but they got him committed, and everybody else catching up, including us, right? And he didn't have a recruiting process. Basically, he committed to Florida State. Some other schools came in. He dotted some I's and crossed some T's and took some visits after the fact, and still his heart was at Florida State because that's the best relationship, the program trajectory, Coach Norvell's offense, and the people that they're recruiting. That's an exciting recruiting win, and Luke Cromahawk's a talented guy that can make the throws, and I think he can flourish in Florida State's in that offense when it's his turn. I think he's got all the ability, and it was easy to see why a lot of schools tried to circle back on him. But man, he's big, he's fluid, he can make all the throws and sees the field well and is accurate with the football. And so I'm excited about him, and that's one of the reasons why I'm excited about Florida State long term is because he's committed to the Noles.
Yeah, shout out to their staff. I don't know who identified him so early, but I'm from Savannah, and I hadn't heard of the kid. And so when CJ told us about him, I go and look at his film, and it's all safety film. I'm like, yo, this. So of course we getting our joke on. Then the next year he gets his opportunity, and I'm like, oh man, this kid is a baller. Like, I really was, for a troll's sake and for the fact that he's going to the Noles, I'm hoping that he end up being garbage. But great job by their staff on that one. While we're talking quarterbacks, we got we ended up with Big Judd. Any thoughts on him? I know he's coming out of a weird system, and then trying to transition into a spread. Obviously has his bumps and bruises, but what's your just general thoughts on him?
Well, I know this is a guy that Shannon Dawson liked a lot. They offered him a month before Aaron Nolan committed. Miami would like to take 2 if they could this cycle for competition and depth purposes. And I say competition first because they want as much competition in that room as possible. Because for obvious reasons, right? But this is a kid, he's 6'6", he's 210 pounds. He's a talented thrower of the football that is obviously still developing in other areas, but he's a guy that, Coach Dawson was one of the more exciting coordinator hires this offseason for what he's done and who he's worked with in his career. And this is a guy he identified. And they offer, again, like obviously Aaron Nolan was a guy Miami coveted. There's some other guys they swung at, but it's not like Judd Anderson got his offer the week that Aaron Nolan told Miami, I'm not coming. You know what I'm saying? Like they recruited him and offered him a scholarship earlier. And it's not like they had to slow pay him then and say, wait, well, why don't you come visit a couple times either? No, I mean, that was all a natural thing. Got him to campus, got him to commit. And he actually, he committed before Aaron Nolan. based on the intel I have, he committed to Miami before Miami knew what Aaron Nolan was going to do.
Okay. Good stuff, man. I had a lot of people say we pressed the panic button and made him commit. I didn't think it went like that either, but I thought there was genuine interest from Dawson, a guy that he thinks he could develop, and sometimes you got to find those diamonds in the rough until you can get the program. Especially us, we're trying to find an offensive identity so we can have a system like Ohio State where everybody knows you go to Ohio State, you can toss the ball around and quarterbacks are going to be successful there. So we're trying to build something like that. And, I don't know if we're going to hit on a lot of those high-profile targets just yet. So,
but it certainly helps having all these 220-pound running backs. Some of them can catch the football. Getting a guy like Ray Joseph. I mean, when I got to the All-America Bowl in San Antonio this past year, the first player I noticed on the practice field was Ray Joseph. I mean, he was uncoverable in the slot. I mean, he can create separation. He's an uber-confident player. That was just one of the more exciting guys to watch in that setting down there. And Mark Fletcher was awesome too. And Mark Fletcher, he is that was a big flip from Ohio State. He is a pro. He carries himself like a pro when he's doing football related stuff. I mean, like, he is locked in. He plays hard. He's developed each year. He's physically ready to go. I mean, this is him and Trevante Citizen and those guys. That is going to be a rugged, versatile running back room right there behind that offensive line. And like I've said about Texas, because Texas has had a couple top 3 classes, and then you always get the sarcastic, well, Texas is back, right? These guys are 18 and 19 years old. Like Francis Maigoa and Samson Okunlola and Tommy Kinsler and them dudes, they're going to have some growing pains. But, man, they got a lot of talent. Samson Okunlola is going to be an absolute monster for Miami. I mean, he is athletic. He can bend. He is going to play with great leverage. Francis Maigoa is probably a little ahead of him right now. They both have all the potential in the world, but I just absolutely love Okunlola and the traits that he's bringing to Miami, physically and athletically and mentality-wise. And so, obviously that was a hell of an offensive line class. But Miami, I wouldn't push the panic button if they're 7-5 this year, because that's what, a 3-game improvement.
That's a lot of wins you're giving them. That's a lot of love.
Hey, they got a veteran quarterback. They got a veteran quarterback too now, right? And look, I mean, and they've hired some coaches and they're paying people a lot of money. They can't be under 500 2 years in a row, fellas. I mean,
they can.
I don't think we're going to
sit tight, Steve.
Yeah, because look, I mean,
Florida State did it, so I get it.
Because Duke won 9 games after only winning 10 the last 3 years. So I'm kind of giving, Miami. They had to get some stuff right, get some deck ready to go there. But now it's time to start trajectorying up, and I think they will. I mean, Mario Cristobal did a hell of a job at Oregon. Oregon was in the hunt. Like, they were on the short conversation for the college football playoff. They won some Rose Bowls. So, I mean, you always see. You guys have the best shit talking amongst your 3 fan bases, obviously.
In the world, Craig. In the entire world, Craig.
But Mario Cristobal did a hell of a job at Oregon, and so the track record says he's going to do a hell of a job at Miami when all said and done. But it's going to take some time, man. There's going to be a lot of teenagers on the field.
Hey, man, I'm with you. Yeah.
It's a lot of Florida battles that are on the horizon. One of the ones that I'm interested in is DeAndre Robinson and his teammate. I'm sorry, wrong person. L.J. McCray and his teammate Jay Minson at Daytona.
Who knows, baby?
What do you feel about both of those guys, Zay Mincy and L.J. McCray?
Well, I don't have a pulse I can tell you today, who I'm favoring for them. Obviously those programs are in there. L.J. McCray and who else did you say?
Zay Mincy, defensive back.
Yeah. I don't have a prediction for you on either of those young men right now.
Okay.
Yeah, we in there with LG too, I think. Unless integrates us off the board, but I know we can't.
No, yeah, you're in it. But I think, in my opinion, it's down to a Florida battle with those two. I think it may be split. I don't know if they're a package deal or anything like that. I was just trying to see if Steve has some intel on those guys.
Sorry. When you asked me, I was like, man, I hope I know the answer to this question.
I want to ask you a question about relationships. One of the big things that was made about Mario coming down to South Florida was him having an opportunity to, rope off South Florida, which we all know is impossible. You can't completely rope it off, but you do want to get your fair share of talent there. But he has been doing well in Cali and the Pacific Northwest. So I'm wondering, how much longer do you think that'll kind of hold up? Because I mean, he's known these kids since 8th grade, and then kind of part 2 of it with the addition of a Guidry, especially in Dawson. Do you think we make any good inroads out there in the Louisiana, Texas type area?
Well, I think that Miami, with the way that they attack the recruiting trail, they're a player wherever they want to be. I mean, like, look at the Windy City right now with Justin Scott. Now, my predictions on Miami, I mean, that's still going to be a hell of a recruiting battle with Notre Dame being the backyard school, Georgia swinging hard, and then Ohio State's in there. But Miami last year showed that they're just trying to take the best players they can get. It's not, obviously they're going to recruit the in-state kids that they believe are championship caliber type talents. But Miami is a brand that can recruit nationally, and it showed last cycle that they can go anywhere and win a blue chipper. And I think that the coaching staff has a lot of experience recruiting across the country, that's not going to go away. And so the next thing is those guys coming down there and having success, right? So if Samson Okunlola has the success, that'll be big for them to be able to continue to recruit nationally.
Steve, what's your takes on Charles Lester? He's a cornerback from Florida, 5-star.
Oh yeah.
A lot of people say he's a heavy Florida State lean. Just announced he's going to take an official visit to Colorado, and that drew a lot of antennas, especially for FSU fans, due to the Travis Hunter situation.
Sure.
So what's your takes on Charles Lester?
So I think Colorado is going to have to make up ground there. I mean, my predictions on Florida State right now, I think they've done an excellent job of getting on him early, getting him to campus a ton, building a lot of trust between him and that program. Alabama and Georgia are definitely in the thick of that one as well for obvious reasons. The stage they play on, the development at that position, particularly under both staffs. I'm not sleeping on them. Maybe Colorado can make a move. Obviously, he's intrigued by them. But I still am looking the hardest at Florida State, Alabama, and Georgia for Lester, and then Ohio State's in the equation as well.
The fans want to know, what do you feel about JoJo Trader? Where's he end up right now?
So my prediction on Trader is on Miami. Obviously he likes Ohio State. He likes Florida. Tennessee's in there, right? Georgia. My prediction's on Miami. I think he's top of the board regardless of position. I think he feels that. I think he likes the trajectory of the program, the location, and all that. There was a time where I would have said Ohio State, though. So, we'll see how his recruitment continues to evolve. But I haven't heard anything recently that makes me want to change my prediction.
How do you feel about Juwan Johnson, the defensive back from Louisiana that recently decommitted from Prime at Colorado at the Colorado spring game? How do you feel about his recruitment? I know he's visiting Florida June 2nd, and he got a few lined up.
Yeah, so in Colorado, he says it's still a top school. I think at this point, though, coming right out the chute, decommitment, I would probably point towards LSU. That was a school that even when he committed to Colorado, people with knowledge of that recruitment instantly said it's not over. LSU's in that one.
Slave belt, Steve.
Say what?
Yeah, he's in the slave belt, Steve. Never mind. Go ahead.
I'm about to say you're going to put him in the most uncomfortable situation. The slave belt is a term that we have coined for players out of the Louisiana and Mississippi area.
They don't leave home.
They don't leave home, man. It's hard to get them out of there, Steve. I'm sorry, man.
LSU, kind of like how I said earlier, Miami's like completely dedicated to getting as strong a defensive line class as they can. LSU in state this year is kind of their MO. Doesn't mean they're going to get them all, but I know this is a young man that they covet.
Real quick, we're speaking on Colorado, and what's your take or your I guess your current feel of the Colorado recruiting right now? Because there's been a lot of buzz after the spring game and just with a lot of exits within the portal and things like that. What is your overall take on the feel around the country with Colorado?
Well, obviously, I think a lot of prospects are intrigued by that program because of the juice that Coach Sanders brought to Boulder. I mean, he's as charismatic a guy as you're going to find. I mean, when you're around him, he's electric, right? And so when you talk to him, he knows how to make people feel good about it. And so there's a lot of, when they get prospects on campus, it's exciting, and he spends time with them. And so that moves the needle. I think that he put together a really strong coaching staff. I love the OC hire that he made of Sean Lewis from Kent State, who, when he was the head coach at Kent State, they weren't afraid to play anybody. I mean, hell, they went down to Georgia. They played all the contenders when he was there and could move the ball. His quarterback's at UCLA now, so we'll see what he does there after going through the portal. But and then obviously hired Charles Kelly from Alabama, who's like the nicest dude in the world, that everybody in the state of Alabama swears by Charles Kelly, from high school coaches to trainers, or just the kind of man he is. And even like when you read that article in The Athletic about the mass exodus of players that got told they were cut, the one dude said he liked Charles Kelly. Couldn't even,
Couldn't say anything bad about him.
Right. Yeah. So, one of the DBs said that. So, like, I like the staff that they put together there. Obviously Coach Sanders turned around Jackson State in a hurry, and so I think, at the end of the day, a lot of times it's results driven. So you still have to show that there is the honeymoon is coming to an end here, and they're going to have to open up with TCU, and we'll see what happens from there. But I think if they show that they are on the uptick on the field, they're going to be in the middle of it for these recruitments that they're in on right now. And they hired some great recruiters. I mean, Nick Williams is as good a recruiter as Nick Williams can recruit. He does a hell of a job. And they're, he hired Corey Phillips off field. Like, they put together a really good staff. And even hearing him talk about on the Manning cast on Monday Night Football why Colorado is going to be successful, the first thing he mentioned was his staff. Like, he has an understanding that, obviously he's at the top and he's the lightning rod, but football is the ultimate team sport. And
right.
He put together a coaching staff that I thought was pretty exciting.
Steve, how do you feel about this is my last prospect type question. How do you feel about Eddie Pierre-Louis, younger brother of Richard Garage? Trenches is a spot that I'm watching. We have 2 offensive line coaches. So I want to know, just watching the progress. That's one of the spots that I want to see. It's an uptick in the talent that we're bringing in from Dan Mullen's staff, but it's also a different tier I think we need to get to be, contenders in the SEC East with Georgia. What do you feel about Eddie Pierre-Louis?
Well, the difference between offensive line and defensive line, defensive line, you obviously need the ass kickers that can go get the quarterback and dominate at the line of scrimmage. Offensive line, big bodies that can bend, that are smart, that understand what you're trying to do schematically. If you can find those guys and coach them up, the ratings are the ratings at that position, but there's, I like Florida's ideology with the 2 offensive line coaches. It's obviously something that's very important. There's a lot of emphasis on that position. And so I think, arrow up in that room. Eddie Pierre-Louis, I know he's coveted by a lot of schools. I think Oregon's in the middle of that one. That's one of their top overall targets on the board, and so, but it's a young man that Florida's definitely in the middle of it for. Miami's pushing for him. I don't know. I don't have a prediction on what he's going to do, but he's sought after now for his size and ability to move and play physical on the interior.
I seen him on the video running 100 meter on the track, man, and it's very impressive how he can move, man.
Yeah, big man can move, man. He's probably gonna predict as what, a guard, right, or center?
Yeah. No, I
Yeah.
mean, just, I don't know what his true length is. And so sometimes people get caught up in the height and they're like, oh, he's 6'4", he can't play tackle. But if you're 6'4" with the 6'10" wing, you can play tackle.
Right.
Correct.
Right.
Like the guy to Pensacola, right?
If you say
Eddie's
so.
from Tampa
I don't know who
Catholic.
you're talking about.
No, the offensive tackle from Pensacola. He's from Pine Forest.
Oh, yeah,
Steve.
yeah. Yeah, the kid that's trending Florida State, Daniels.
Yeah, Daniels.
Well, trending on the crystal ball, he's obviously looking at a lot of schools, but that's another one where, man, he's loved every time he's been on Florida State's campus now, and they've gotten him there a lot. And so this Florida State class, they're in the mix for a lot of good players up front as they continue to, put together what's got a chance to be a top 10 class.
Steve, that's all I kind of want to ask you as well. A lot of fans are, the Landon Thomas flip that brought up a lot of eyebrow. They raised a lot of eyebrows, in regards to Florida State's recruitment, because I know Georgia definitely want to keep him in this class. I mean, it's a lot of big time official visits for the summer. Based off the trajectory of things going so far in spring and what you foresee, do you think Florida State can have a top 10 class this upcoming season?
Yeah, absolutely. They're number 7 right now, and then you just start looking at some of the guys that they're in the mix for. I mean, I don't think they lead for KJ Bolden, but they're on his short list, so you see what happens. Charles Lester, like where they stand, got to get them to be top 10. JoJo Trader, Camarion Franklin, Cameron Coleman has him on the short list. Jonathan Daniels, I have a crystal ball for FSU there. LJ McCray, Ricardo Jones from Georgia is the guy they're battling Tennessee for. There's a lot of top 247 players out there for Florida State right now. I think they lead for Manasseh TT, the offensive lineman from California, Central Catholic. He's as pretty a guy as you're going to find in the class. There's a lot of really good players looking at Florida State. Ricky Knight's a Miami Florida State battle. I think my prediction's on Miami right now, but certainly could see that go Florida State's way. So, yeah, absolutely, especially with what they return and the kind of season that I think they're going to have. You guys want to hear something? A Pitt coach sent this to me, so I haven't fact-checked it, but Pitt over the last 3 years has had the most NFL draft picks of the ACC.
I can see it. I can see it.
They had
like one.
I haven't fact-checked it, but that's not good for Florida State and Miami. That's what
that's what I said. That's what I said.
I think Clemson may be number 1, but I think Florida
Y'all
State
got the most draft picks.
It should be pretty cool.
Terrible record too. I mean,
but
tomato.
But it ain't tomato because rain, sleet, or snow, the University of Florida is sending your ass to the league.
Florida State's confident this is going to be a big year. But Pitt, they develop some guys, they camp out a lot in Florida as well, especially from the receiver and, defensive tackle standpoint. So,
they do a great job at evaluating and developing those guys that don't have the measurables. Aaron Donald don't have the measurables. If you just look at them on paper, so they've done a great job, especially down in South Florida as well, like you said, of just getting these guys that are just a little, they're 6'2", 6'3"-ish, but just dogs, and they know that they can push them to the next level. I got before we get you out of here, man.
I got two more questions. I'm about.
Yeah, and I know this, man. Your time is money. We can't hold a man all night, but I got a couple of questions.
My 8-year-old's coming home from a birthday party in 6 minutes.
Oh,
so we gotta go
well, I hope he had no cake.
Trip on
ice cream. Yeah, man. Let's hurry up. Okay. I got Jeremiah Smith, and Robinson the fourth. Ellis Robinson is scheduled an official with us, so obviously that can't be a bad thing.
Right.
Do you believe Miami can really honestly pick up any traction in either one of those commitments?
Well, Ellis has been to Georgia so many times. He's always said he's going to take his officials. You take your shot. I mean, he loves the Miami staff and believes in them. But right now, it'd be hard for me to say that he's going to back off Georgia. But I mean, you still have some energy in it. So we'll see what happens, right? And then Jeremiah Smith, I mean, social media kind of didn't go in y'all's favor there.
Yeah.
Like, so
I hate those people.
Ohio State is tough to flip a receiver on because Brian Hartline,
Facts.
not only his track record of just developing players in Ryan Day's offense, and now he's the OC, but he's just a good dude that builds real relationships with these guys. So it's hard to flip a receiver to Ohio State for all those reasons. I mean, I would say Georgia would be the one that if there was like one that I was like, if there is even a
outside
threat,
chance, right?
Yeah. I would say Georgia right now. But I mean, again, long way to go, with everybody, every single person, and so nothing surprises me anymore. I mean, last year, 8 of the top 15 quarterbacks decommitted and ended up elsewhere, some multiple times. One
That's
very
crazy
relevant.
number.
I knew we saw a good bit of movement.
Yeah, Jay Rashada, right? We know about one.
Yeah. So I mean, like there's, as y'all know, stuff happens that you don't see coming because information changes and things move. And so so that's why now I just laugh when people get mad about the crystal ball changing. I just want to be like, what major decisions have you made in your life? Like, were they all just easy, no brainer, cut and dry ones because you obviously cannot relate to this young man.
Right. And people aren't factoring in. We're talking about teenagers.
We also talking about money too.
But for everybody, any major decision, like whether you're a teenager or 56 years old, or you're Larion deciding if you want to do this grown or this modeling ad or not, like
right.
These aren't. Like, I just always find it fascinating how often people act like these young men, like the information doesn't move, and and some people just want the crystal ball to be a game, and I just want it to be a tool where you come to 24/7, and that's where I think the young man's going to go.
Information,
right? Jamari Howard, cornerback down south of Miami. He's committed to Michigan State, but I think this is going to be a big free battle at the end of the day. What's your feelings on Jamari Howard and how his recruitment is trending?
Yeah, I recently talked to Jamari. We invited him to the All-America Bowl too, and he likes Florida. We talked about Florida State and Florida that day. He didn't talk about Miami as much.
I know why.
But Florida State, he likes how they recruit and says they're producing. Says they're coming back to being the Florida State they used to be. And then with Florida, he spoke highly about Coach Raymond with me. He's a man of few words, so it's not like he was like elaborating.
Mm-hmm.
But Florida State and Florida were certainly a couple schools that I could tell that he's excited about.
All right, this is my last question. I know a lot of fans are kind of questioning our linebacker recruiting under Randy Shannon. Some of the takes he's been taking. A fan wanted your opinion on the post of the FSU linebacker recruiting. Do you think it's trending in the right direction, or what's your opinions on the linebacker recruiting for FSU? Seems like everyone else is kind of making waves except the linebacker position.
Well, y'all getting Blake Nicholson last year and beating Oregon.
I love Blake.
Yeah, that was a hell of a recruiting win.
A lot of people feel like that's a Ray win versus a Randy Shannon win for some reason.
Well, who cares who won it? He's going to play linebacker for Florida State, right? And he's a guy that can cover, play in space, and so maybe I didn't understand the question. Maybe I'm supposed to say someone wasn't a good recruiter or something, but I just know Blake Nicholson's coming to Florida State, and he's a guy that's got an exciting skill set there to play in space, to cover, to come hit, run support. He's an every down. He's an every down backer there. I know you guys got Jaden Parrish committed in this class. We didn't really talk about when I was talking about your top targets. I don't remember mentioning a linebacker in there. So, I know you guys are on the short list for Edwin Spillman, but that's probably a long shot there. Yeah, I mean, maybe that is an area of concern now.
Yeah.
I didn't think about it.
Right. We're very high on Blake. We're just overall the fans are kind of bullish on the linebacker recruiting. But that's all I have on my end. Go ahead, Larry.
I got the closer. You got anything else, Silk?
Oh no,
I
I'm
got the
good,
last
man. I was
one
gonna
out.
ask some questions about Derek Lagway, but everybody know he's, you know what I'm saying, top dog, so I ain't gotta
I
ask him nothing
like
about that.
no, I like talking
Go
about
ahead, Steve. Go
DJ.
ahead.
No, I
Go ahead.
like talking about DJ. I mean,
Okay, well, let's spice it up a little bit. Give us your opinion. Who you think is the better quarterback out of him and Luke? Out of him and Luke?
well, I think that Lagway's upside with the way that football is going is second. He's as good. He's got as much talent as anybody out there, and had a good year. I mean, 24 touchdowns, just 5 picks, over 500 yards rushing. I mean, he is a big, physical, athletic dude. I mean, he's 225 pounds or something like that, and I mean, he can throw. He can throw the football. He's got some rawness to him compared to some of the other guys. But I saw him at the overtime OT Southeast Regional or Southwest Regional or whatever. It was in Austin. And I thought he played very well on the second day, made some high level throws, saw the field well. And I think he's just wired right. Like he's going to come in ready to work, wants to be great. I think even he hasn't even been able to give a full capacity to football because he's a really good baseball player. So once he like even locks in on football all the way through the roof, and again, I mean Lincoln Riley's only pushed for 2 quarterbacks in this cycle so far. Only 2 had the green light, and he was one of them. And so for Florida to win that recruiting battle says a lot to the recruiting chops of Billy Napier and Coach O'Hara and those guys to get DJ in the fold over what is a pretty awesome opportunity to go play quarterback for Lincoln Riley, you know. And so, but Billy Napier, man, he's as good a soul as there is in college football, in my opinion. I think he's a good man and a guy that wants the best for his players. And so I think that resonates with people on the trail that like, hey, Coach Napier, I trust him with my future, you know?
Yeah. He was on my short list. He was behind Mario, so I won't trash Billy. You won't find a lot of Sunbelt jokes out there from me. But
let me ask y'all a question real quick. Like, do you guys want like all 3 of your teams to be in the top 10 and then you be top dog, or is it fun? Or is it more
Go ahead.
You're good and the other 2 suck?
That's very good. That's very good. I love it when they suck. I love it when they suck. I love it when they suck.
Steve, before I got into the podcast business, I wanted their teams to be horrible. You know, my team to be the greatest. If we could go undefeated and they lose every game, that'd be perfect. But in the world that we in, I would love for all 3 programs to be popping, man. You know, the fan bases are engaged, they're participating, they're hanging out in the comments, beefing and all that, man. So, and those are the glory days, man. Like my best football memories are when Florida and Florida State were great, not when they was trash and we were good. You know, all the good games were played when both programs were up. So I want everybody to be up, man.
The stakes are high. Pretty much all those games back then was, you know, it was a lot of implications as far as, you know, national championships and things like that. So,
and the teams need to match the fans, bro. You see how dedicated we are, bro? We need winners, bro.
One of the things we have from our childhoods that these recruits don't have, or even the fans now, is like those big games that you were talking about. They would be on ABC, NBC, or CBS or whatever, and they would have like an intro with cool music, and like it would have a narrator talking about the game, and then they'd run out of the tunnel, and you'd be watching it on TV, all jacked up. You know, the broadcasts of games are not anywhere close to what they used to be. Like the pageantry around the actual broadcast. Like even if you turn on I like going back and watching NBA on NBC playoff games for the early 90s. The intros and the interviews and stuff, that was off the charts. That stuff was great.
I agree 100%.
Yeah, I always say, look, if you're making me choose, gun in my head, all of us good or all of us suck, give me all of us good. This all of us suck stuff been running for a while.
Well, no, Miami's good. The rest sucks.
Even that, if I had to pick it, it's just funner when we all better. It is, in all honesty. It's just funner because then Florida State, has the misfortune to have to play both of us, right? So I only get to play Florida if we get a bowl game, but I know I'm going to play Florida State. I want that game to always mean something. I think it's a top 3 football rivalry, but it loses its shine when you're dealing with 2 teams that have been hovering around 500. So it's like ultimately. Yeah, I'd rather we were all good than Miami just dust everybody else, because it's fun to like that game to mean something. I remember when I think we had a 6-game streak, and I went to Florida State with a buddy of mine, and they broke the streak.
2005, yeah.
Yeah, that was my first game.
2006,
live.
excuse me. Mm-hmm.
I think so. Yeah, it was my very first game live, and my friend, he's a big Florida State fan. I was like, he's like, "How you feel?" I was like, "Ain't a rivalry if we keep winning. Like, it's fun to break it up a little bit. It's fun to win it, but I need that energy of, hey, this matters. These games matter, and I think it's good for football. I'm old school, so I want to see Michigan, Ohio State, Texas. I want to see these schools good again.
Sure.
I don't mind a Cinderella story, but I ain't gonna lie to you. I much rather the old blue bloods hold it down. I'm just built like that, unfortunately.
Sure. I had fun I like covering the big recruiting weekends. So even like Florida State beat Miami 2 years ago, and that was kind of like a big win for the Noles, right? Mm-hmm. And there were some big recruits on campus and that was still two kind of average teams at the time. So I look forward to covering and like the Florida-Utah game last year. That was fun to cover that. So
that was fun to watch.
It's about to be fun again. I heard they quarterback
shit to me then.
Oh no, that was a great weekend too, man. The vibes was crazy.
We was in New Orleans, right?
I was yelling in Larion face. I thought we was gonna win the national championship. All that, bro. It was a crazy weekend.
That was a fun game.
My 8 and 5-year-old think we're gonna win a Super Bowl here in Indy with AR-15 now. So
bro, I would say yes, but I'm a Jags fan, so y'all not. But he's gonna do well.
Let's get it. I can live with it, man.
Well, thank you guys. I appreciate y'all.
All right, Steve. Appreciate you for hanging out with us. Man.
Whoa. 1-1-1, and we're gonna let you go. I promise you. Rank us 3-2-1 in the state. As far as final early. It's early, obviously. Who do you think?
Well, we covered that at the top. I mean, I would go Florida State, Florida, Miami coming into the year if we're talking about what they're going to look like on the field.
No, I'm talking about recruiting.
Oh, Miami won. Florida, it's hard because all three of you are doing a good job, but I think
all three of us ain't doing a good job right now, Steve.
We did the same thing last year, Steve.
Who's not?
You gotta go. You ain't gotta explain.
Well, yeah, because you look at where Miami's number is, but you know it's coming. So
pause. I don't.
It's coming. We coming.
All right. So you think?
Man, you gotta explain. I know you gotta go, man. Go ahead.
Yeah. No, thanks again, guys. You guys have a good one. Appreciate it.
Right, always love, man. Appreciate it, brother.
Steve ain't even finished. All I need to hear was what I heard. Number one.
I'm about to find out real soon, baby. I think he is right, though. It's going to be close.
You know what, CJ? I feel this is the thing for y'all, just like he said. Like, y'all got to get used to success. So, boy, it's a lot of pressure on y'all.
See, that's the thing. I agree, but that's the thing about Mike, though, man. Like, he does a great fucking job of, like, bro, like, understanding the sound, understanding where we're at. He's a really good job of standing the moment type of coach.
If he can keep that locker room together and keep egos in check, y'all can have a damn good year. Damn good. I'm not going natty, but I think y'all can pull off 10 wins.
No, see, the thing is, I don't think I'm not sure about natty either. But my thing is focus on the ACC. Like because that's something we haven't won a long damn time. You beat Clemson. Mm-hmm. I think you beat Clemson. The rest of that shit can kind of fall in line, man. So if you beat Clemson and don't lose, say you lose 1 or 2 games at the end of the season, I know, and that's another thing too. You got rid of the Atlantic and the Coastal. So it's a possibility to play a team twice, possibly. But again, if we beat Clemson, you know, pretty much whoever wins the ACC, they have a shoe in into the playoffs. So that's just a crazy record on both sides, which I don't really foresee. So I think if you beat Clemson and win the ACC, the rest is there. But as far as winning the national championship, all that, I don't think they're ready to. I don't think they're ready to compete on that level as far as, you know, the Georgias, the Ohio States, and all that type of deal.
Right. It would be a big testament to who he is as a coach. If y'all really go out here and have a good season.
I agree.
And my opinion for y'all, a good season this year will need to be 10 wins coming off of last year. You know, beat that NC State, beat a Clemson, and kind of that flips it to 10. Yeah, you'll definitely be in position, man, and that could make the recruiting stuff way more interesting. So it's a lot mounted on the shoulders as far as
that's what we got to realize too. A lot of this stuff will, you know, factor on field play too as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Got to play the games and whatnot, man. Do like where we at in recruiting. I like we got May and June is going to be eventful for all 3 programs. That's really commit season. A lot of these coaches are doing evaluations right now. A lot of offers and pecking orders of boards is being sorted out. But once I think this evaluation period ends, we're entering May next week, and you're gonna start seeing commit season start to unfold a little bit. But one time, for our sponsors at State Farm Insurance, man, be sure to give them my man Alan Horne a call at 706-692-2888. In the states of Georgia, Florida, Tennessee, and Alabama, if you need your life, automobile, home, anything you may need insured, like I said, give 706-692-2888 a call or visit AlanHorneInsurance.com. State Farm provider. It's the roll up, it's the vibes. We're gonna be hanging out with some friend of the shows, fans of the show. Right. Getting everything. If you click the link earlier and it didn't work, hit it again, refresh it. Should work fine. I figured out the glitch in it when I had Steve on, man. So we got it all figured out. But let's talk a little bit of NFL draft, man. We talked AR in the intro. Anthony Richardson goes number 4 overall to the Indianapolis Colts.
Yep.
I like the fit. Shout out to his outfit, everything he was wearing. I thought him and his whole team was super on point. Everything they did PR wise, man. I thought they had, his brother being there, having that content that they did, where he had the letter he read, everything. His interviews with the press, his interviews with the NFL, just hearing the feedback from his whole process, I thought was just top notch stuff, man. Usually, especially with us being from the culture, man, you find glitches and little snags in the draft process. I thought he carried himself like an absolute professional. He hasn't, this entire time he's been at Florida, he's moved like a pro. Outside of the speeding in the car type thing, I thought he's carried himself very well PR wise, man. Even changing his name. Yeah, it was a thing. It was a thing. And people were questioning his maturity. Him changing his name from AR, all of that stuff, man. To me, I just think he's very on point and very mature, and he got the right business team around him. So, regardless of how his season played out, my opinion on him the entire season was always the same. You can see the talent, the ability. I never got off the him being a top 10 pick just from what was jumping off on the screen, which was his arm talent, his ability to be able to score from anywhere in the field, whether it's throwing or running, man. The kid can run, as you can see, damn near 4.3 at that size. It's just different. You're not going to see that on growing trees every day. So I always was steady on his draft stock, but to see it all play out, dreams come true. Billy Napier being there, I thought that was great for recruiting. You got to FaceTime the recruits from the draft saying, hey, this could be you type shit. Derek Lagway, his response to it on social media the whole night, I thought played out perfectly for AR. What was you guys' opinion? I also like some of the takes from the NFL desk. I watched it on NFL Network, and I like the take that, some people are saying when he get to the NFL, he needs to sit behind somebody, but the take that he just needs snaps and the offensive line and the stuff that he'll have for him in Indianapolis. Yeah, I think he needs snaps. I don't think he needs to sit. Yeah, I don't think he needs to sit and learn. I think the best thing, what he's lacking right now is reps. Like every knock against him is like, he needs more experience. He hasn't played enough. I don't think sitting in is going to improve that. So I think I'm with that take. I love that take when I heard it. I think he just needs more reps.
I can absolutely see where they would say that. I think that's a very I think it's an intelligent take on him. He's going into a good situation, like you said, in Indianapolis, which is why I kept saying Garoppolo would be a great fit there, because I knew we needed to move Garoppolo at some point. But yeah, AR is getting to go into a situation, man, where he's going to be playing behind a good line. He's got a good running back. So in a lot of ways, it'll be similar to what he was doing at Florida anyways. So he'll have an opportunity to hand the ball off quite a bit, and he'll just have to pick his poison at times when he is dropping back to make these passes. And I agree. Yeah, get him the snaps. Even the great Peyton Manning, people forget Peyton Manning's first season, he threw damn near, I'd have to pull it up real quick, but I think he threw 30 touchdowns and 30 interceptions. So Indianapolis is comfortable with putting a guy back there like that and saying, hey, it is what it is. Let's let him grow. Let's let him mature in this situation. And you're right. When you look at a guy who has a limited football experience, I know he was like an AAU basketball player. and then he moved on to football a little bit later on. He's been a backup for a while, and I remember the very first time I saw AR get in the game. I don't remember what game it was, but I just remember physically saying, "Yo, who is this kid? Like, yo, why is he not playing?" And he obviously he was sitting behind Emery and Trask, and so that hindered his opportunity to get these snaps. But yeah, why not? Indianapolis, their expectations this year, I wouldn't expect to be super high. So get them out there, get them the snaps, get them the experience, let them learn on the job, and you can see a development, just like you saw with Trevor Lawrence. Trevor Lawrence was what you would consider. Obviously, he definitely had the snaps. He would definitely be considered all in all a more polished product coming out. We always knew when Trevor came into Clemson, he was looked at as a #1 draft pick from the time he first stepped on the campus.
Right.
And he struggled. So it's a different game there. So to say go ahead and throw him in there, let him get them reps. He's got a good line that's going to give him some time. He's got Jonathan Taylor he can hand the ball off to. Sure, go ahead. I'm like that anyway. So that's just my philosophy in general. If you're gonna take a quarterback that early, I say go ahead and let them get their bumps and bruises. You're a bad team if you're picking that high typically. So we're not going to concern ourselves with the record. Let's concern ourselves with getting our quarterback developed. And so he can be, because if I picked him that high, I think he's a franchise guy. Let's get on the move on that. What am I waiting another year, 2 years to get him to be who I think he could be? Because if he's not who I think he's going to be by year 2, well, by year 3, I'm looking at giving me another quarterback. So I like it. I think he landed a great situation. And hopefully he thrives. I don't think he could have landed, honestly, in a much better situation.
Right. No, I'm with it, man. And he also got shout out to Mallory. Somebody just said that in the comments. He got Mallory. The coach drafted Mallory, who I thought was the best player on Miami team last year. So they got him some weapons as well. It's gonna be interesting, man. Overall, we had 6 guys drafted. Gervon Dexter was the second guy. I expected Osiris Torrance to be the second guy taken, but it ended up being Gervon Dexter.
Went, what, second round, right?
Yeah, 53 overall, which was shocking to me, man. That was a very good spot for him. There was some talk that he may slide into the first, but I thought that was just crazy hype talk right before the draft. But to see him go 53rd overall to the Chicago Bears, I thought it was a great fit, good organization. It's going to be a good spot for him. Osiris Torrance was the third guy to leave. He leaves like 6 picks later to the Bills. So he's going out there with Kyer. The Bills also got Ventrell Miller in the 4th round. So they got a lot of Gators. Even in the free agency, we'll talk about that in a little bit. Justin Shorter gets picked up in the 5th round by the Bills as well. You know, that's I'm sorry, Ventrell Miller went to the Jags. I'm tripping. Ventrell Miller went to my Jags in the 4th round. I love my Jags. We're not gonna talk Jaguar draft picks, but I love my Jags draft this year. I'm gonna get my Lions shit off this year, bro, for sure. But sorry, Justin Shorter went to the Bills in the 5th round. Amari Burney, a guy that I said on Stadium McGill, I thought he had an outside shot of getting drafted. Only thing was hurting him, he didn't get a combine invite, but at a pro day, he ran a 4.4, worked out really well. He's going to be a guy I think make the roster, whether it was undrafted free agent or through the draft, just because of his size, speed, being able to play special teams. He's going to be able to do some things, man. So shout out to Amari Burney, man, for getting a shot in the 6th round. Undrafted free agents signed elsewhere and didn't get drafted. Trey Dean went to the Jets. Rashard Torrance went to the Rams. I don't have Brenton Cox spot on here in my notes, but he got picked up by somebody as well. Let me find Brenton Cox. But that's all I got for the overall on the NFL draft. Osiris Torrance dropping. They didn't take as many offensive guards. I don't think they took a single guard in the 1st round. So the value of guards isn't as high as offensive tackle. So he slid. And just speaking to some guys just around the draft process, some agents, there were some people on behind the scenes concerned with his body composition. You know, when you look at him, he don't look like a all-pro or all-SEC offensive guard, even though, like, you look at the paper, the size is there, what you want wingspan-wise, but just his body composition, the way he looks, he's a guy that lost a lot of weight. So there are some NFL teams didn't like his overall body composition. They like the way he's performed, but that was the knock that I heard behind the scenes on him. Justin Short is in a great spot. I just think he just need to, work on his burst off the line of scrimmage and some of those things. But outside of that, good draft, good day for the Florida Gators, man.
Shorter got drafted too?
Yeah, to the Bills, man. 5th round. Good spot for
okay.
him.
Yeah, I'll be honest with you. I only got to really catch day one. I'm back
Oh,
home, so I've
real
been
quick.
looking around.
Ventrell also going in the 4th round to the Jags was very good as well because he was injured. He's a guy that couldn't, he couldn't pass physicals to be able to work out during the draft process. So for a guy that didn't get a pro day or a combine to go 4th round, I thought was a great spot for him. He made a lot of money coming back his last year.
They like them old school backers, huh? They got Shaq there too.
Yeah.
And he plays. I mean, he's backup, but he does get his snaps. So
Ventrell can run.
Ventrell come and get him.
He ran. I'm thinking 4.5. He ran in the 4.5 range. He's a big guy. But he could go sideline to sideline a little bit. I wouldn't want to put him 1-on-1 with no slot or a very athletic Kyle Pitts type tight end. But he could get sideline to sideline and get busy a little bit.
Can't take my boy a job. I see what's going on around here. It's cool. Hey, they call it not for long for a reason.
We need special teamers. We'll get them a job.
Hey man, it's a cold business. Hey, you get in, you make you a few million if you're lucky, and you chances are. Hey, the beautiful thing though, man, we got so many more leagues now, man. You can go out there and play.
Shaq gonna be around for a little minute. Ventrell be around.
I just mean in general, like imagine that, like, because remember, shoot, man, you got kicked out the NFL. It wasn't really much at all for you other than the Canadian Football League. Well, now you got what, the XFL and the USFL right here. In the U.S., so you don't even got to cross the borders, man, and you got an opportunity to stay here and play professional ball. You can end up playing, pro ball 10 years, and maybe only 3 of them was in the NFL, and have a chance to amass some decent money. And if you play it right, you can do a lot for your family in that way too. So it's really all about maximizing opportunities. That's why I really like the resurgence of these other leagues. Draft night for us, I mean, obviously they had Tyreek. Tyreek went in the 2nd round to the Bears. It was funny because it was, we talked about Tyreek for a while. I seen Tyreek in the 1st, seen Tyreek in the 2nd. I looked at the Athletic, and they had him way down there on one of their boards. I don't know who big board it was, but it was very far down. And then he got announced in the 2nd to the Bears. I think he'll fit well in that scheme. I was kind of like, oh, that's pretty dope. Him and Gravon getting to play there. Big physical DB. He wanted to come to us to play outside to prove he could play outside. I think he'll get that opportunity again in Chicago with their safety situation. So I think he landed in a good spot. Obviously spoke on Will a little bit earlier. Tight end in Indianapolis. Absolutely great opportunity for him there as well. Especially with a rookie quarterback, they're probably going to roll out. They always say, and it tends to be true, your tight end is a safety blanket for a younger quarterback. So Will have opportunities if he plays it right, if he can stay healthy. He's going to have his opportunities to probably amass, hell, he goes out there and stay healthy, man, and possibly starts. He get a situation where he may get 40 catches out there. So, good situation for him as well. And then the much maligned DJ Ivy got drafted in the 7th, I want to say, to Cincinnati.
Shout out to that man.
I've said it for a while. I think the fans have been always a little too hard on DJ. I think DJ's bad moments are huge. But, like I said, both of y'all boys play corner, man. Nobody really notices when you don't get burnt or don't. I mean, you're doing your job, right? So it's like you shutting this. Nothing's really going on. But then his bad busts, I'm not gonna lie, they're bad. When he gets beat, his whoopings are pretty bad. But I think he's a pretty steady guy. He's got the physical tools you want. So yeah, clearly some coaches are willing to take a risk, especially in the 7th, give him an opportunity to get out there and see if they can, fine tune some of his skills. So. Good day all in all. I thought DJ was kind of the last guy. I thought Mike could get drafted off of this team. I thought late, and so it kind of went pretty much as I expected. I knew we'd get the 2 draft picks. DJ was the guy I thought Mike could slide in just on physical tools alone. And as far then we got some undrafted free agents. Not a ton of them. I can't even recall them right now. I'll be honest with you. I didn't have that list prepared. I knew Lou Headley went to the Saints, but I mean he's a punter, so that's expected. But there wasn't a talent-rich roster, so I'm not disappointed at all. I think the talent that was on that roster got an opportunity to get drafted, and we that's what you brought in a new coach for, to get this roster flipped and start being a player in some of these situations. So that's all I got as far as Miami goes from the draft.
Already, man.
I had no picks.
Already. Hey, hit that like button, subscribe, like, comment, super chats available if y'all have any questions. Show us some love as well, man. Go on Twitter, retweet it, let everybody know where the vibes is at. And then we're gonna get some guests and some fans on here right after CJ finishes his draft wrap up. It should be quick. CJ, what do you got?
Well, wrap it up real quick, right? FSU only had one player drafted this draft, and that was Jamie Robinson, went in the 5th round to the Carolina Panthers. I think the spot he landed was very great. I think he do really well for the Panthers, but I thought it was a little low. He did have a 3rd to 5th round range grade, but again, you can't make Jamie taller, or you can't make him run a little faster. So I understand the situation. But I do think for the Panthers, I think that could be a really good fit for him. I think he can really thrive in that system for sure. So shout out to Jamie. Like I said, I think it was a little bit later because he was really productive for FSU. Almost had 200 tackles in 2 years and 5 interceptions. First team all ACC 2 times in a row. But again, when 5'10", running 4.6 at a safety position, that's how it goes. But shout out to that.
He got drafted. My 2 safeties is vibing. They ain't getting no call, man. They free agents, Rashad Torrance and Trey Dean. So at least he got that call.
Yeah, definitely.
Y'all seen that boy suit?
Who's
that?
Jamie Robinson.
Suit.
You see that boy suit?
No,
Hold on. I'm gonna send it to the group chat real quick.
I mean, it was Sunday. He's probably going to church. It probably had nothing to do with the draft.
Yeah, right. Definitely no dress. And he was at the house too.
Yeah. He walked around the house in a draft suit. Is crazy.
Went to church that morning, prayed a little bit.
I seen his social media out there.
Watch out, man. Get out of here. That wasn't that man's suit, man.
What this was, the year before?
Nah, this was for it's the ACC Media Day.
Media Day. Oh, okay. Yeah, I see now.
Yeah, my boy sweating his
own piss like under pressure. Man. I thought that was all through the suit.
Right. But they had a couple players that got some undrafted free agent deals. Pokey Wilson, he went undrafted. He got a deal with the San Diego Chargers. Robert Cooper signed with the Seattle Seahawks, and Cam McDonald with the Green Bay Packers. This was the first time since 2012 that FSU did not have any players taken within the first 3 rounds. Bad news and good news, because if you look at the following couple years, FSU had the most draft picks in NFL history for a 3-year stretch from 2013. 2013, 14, and 2015. Not saying FSU is going to do that exactly, because Jimbo won the historic run, but I do think next year is going to be a lot better as far as draft prospects. Jared Verse, he's going to be in the draft. Trey Benson, Jordan Travis, Johnny Wilson, Caden Deloach, and Lawrence Toafili, just to name a few. So I think next year it's going to be a lot different as far as that. But yeah, I thought that was pretty interesting as far as the 2012 thing. But like Fawn said, 86% of the roster from a production standpoint came back. So next year be pretty interesting. That's all I got for the draft talk.
They took all them down quarterbacks, man. I said, boy, my boy Trav could have been out of here, man.
I think he would have got drafted.
For sure. As many they took. I want to say this real quick before we get Trey. I want to speak real quick on, since we're talking draft. Obviously they made a big thing about the Georgia, the Philly Dogs or whatever, how they took so many Georgia Bulldogs.
That's right up your alley, ain't it?
Larion got to talk about his Georgia Dogs.
Yeah.
That's my blood, man. That's my dogs.
Get your ass up out of here, cuz. Go ahead.
It ain't even that. I want to say about the whole Jalen Carter thing. Like, they let Jalen, who was
that's crazy, boy.
He stretched the best guy on the board. I hate how that kid's narrative played out. Character issues. We're talking about one night, being young and dumb. I've done the same exact thing. I've raced the streets.
You don't
being
crash?
Stupid.
You don't crash?
No, I didn't crash. But see, he was lucky, right? He didn't crash either. The homeboy crashed and passed. And then now it becomes character issues. And I'm like, well, I mean, I was always a pretty level-headed, pretty good kid, man, to be honest with you. But I've done that. So I kind of hate that narrative got slapped on him. I think they spoke on him suffering the mental anguish of that situation. And I think, steal of the draft for him to go to Philly. and line up more, he gonna really get to go and shine. And I think hopefully that'll help get that monkey off his back somewhat. He shouldn't beat himself up about that. I've been blessed. I was in those situations. We raced. We were stupid. That's a young, dumb, full of adrenaline and just not thinking clearly. He was never reported to be a bad kid in any other sense of the word. So I don't like that character issues tag they try to label him with. But I think he landed a great situation. So more power to him, man. God
Very
bless,
great
man. Go do your thing, bro.
Oh, yeah.
Go do your thing, bro.
I think Philly got a good subway situation down there too. So
I don't know how Philly
my ain't got to do a whole lot of driving.
They ain't gonna let him drive.
I hope not.
Not after Henry Ruggs. That's it. Won't be no driving for your first 3 years in the league. You cannot drive.
I mean, that's the flip side of giving these boys all these go. I talked earlier about Anthony Richardson and the speeding thing that he had. Man, you giving these boys some machinery. Like they ain't getting into on those scooters no more, boy. They getting on big boy whips, man.
Bro, we was racing in Neons and Accords, and you still dying that. Now imagine you,
boy.
You soup that up. And next thing you know, man,
Trey, what you got going on, man?
With us, man?
We got this sunglasses on in the house.
Yeah. I had those sunglasses on. I got no gold grill.
I like that hat, bro.
On the hat, underneath the bill.
You see it?
Yeah.
Drank a little hood mimosa, so I had to throw the sunglasses on. Got me some watermelon, some prosecco, and some Don P. A little splash of Don P.
Hey, happy belated, my brother. I heard how you got did on your birthday, man. I was listening to the show earlier, man. I was mad as hell with you, dog. Don't you tell me no happy birthday at 9 o'clock.
Shit, they told me to let it go yesterday when I told them.
Are you still on that soapbox, brother?
Nah, I don't lie, man. I'm with you, sir. A birthday is a special. That's my holiday.
Treat my shit like
that's
like
my holiday.
It's like you treat Jesus on his birthday. I need you to treat me like that on mine.
What you got for us, though, Trey?
What up with it?
No, I was just listening back to this show when you guys were talking about y'all boy threw Wiltfong for a loop with that old sleigh belt thing.
Yeah, Fon definitely would have like, whoa.
Oh, look at that shit like, why you do me like this, dog?
I know what's up when I see one.
Wiltfong heard that shit, he like, he's just confused.
You asked me to come on your show.
He's like, did I ever tweet something about a sleigh belt?
Right. You're trying to cancel me. Fuck.
I would have disconnected on your ass right then and there. Nope.
This is an ambush.
I tell you what, I'm gonna look that shit up on that Pittsburgh stat too that he threw out.
Yeah, I don't know about that. I want to say Clemson, but it's probably not far fetched at all though. Pitt been doing their thing for sure.
It's worth the Google. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. I also want to shout out to the draft. Even though, hey, next time CJ don't do no super explanatory. I don't even know that's a word. Don't do all the extra explaining shit. We only got one person that got drafted, dog. Just try to skim over it in a sense. You know what I'm saying? We only got one person that got drafted. But shout out to AR. And shout out to everybody on Miami, everybody in Florida who got drafted. Shout out to his brother, too, 13-year-old with a neck tattoo and a 401k.
Bye, man.
That was wild.
That boy had a neck tattoo at 13. Man, hold on.
Neck tattoo is crazy at 13.
Yeah.
You know, that boy was slaying him. I'm like, damn, boy.
AR got to go pro.
He be in the grown man club. Boy, he ain't hanging around the mother churn.
No.
My mama wouldn't even let me have braids. Nigga got a neck tattoo. Oh, no.
That's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
I'm on Super Save, man. Anywho, this isn't about my childhood, Trey. This is about AR. Shout out to that, though, man. Bro made it, I made it type shit, man. But I thought the letter he read was extra dope. And bro had not just some a neck tattoo, bro. That jewelry, bro, them diamonds was dancing all everywhere, bro.
Oh yeah,
I noticed that.
I'm definitely gonna rob his little ass.
yeah. I ain't see the neck tattoo. Y'all put me on to the neck tattoo.
I'm looking at the jury. Well, like, okay,
somebody else said the neck tat, and then that's when I caught it, and I was like, y'all lying, because I was like, he 13, but I mean, your mom can sign off for it then, but.
A neck tattoo and that chain in 8th grade, well, I know he got them all. You hear me?
Oh yeah.
It's a route. You got to do it.
He can't do nothing but rap a ball. That's like
He got some teachers too.
He got a couple
his future is sealed. That man can't do nothing but
Teacher
rap.
these days, the teacher these days, he definitely got a couple. Yeah, he got
about 3 of them.
You're gonna have to rap, hoop, or work construction. One of the two. God bless you. I hope it's the first two. I don't want you to get stuck in that last one, man.
Yeah, because that Indianapolis construction is a monster. So I don't want you out there doing no construction.
What you thought about your Cowboys draft, Trey Pine?
Hot ass.
You didn't like it?
Nah, I ain't like it. I ain't like the Cowboy draft. I thought we should have drafted. We had the opportunity to draft a tight end out of Georgia. We didn't do it. We opted out and got another tight end, and I thought that was a miss. But
You talking about Darnell, right? Washington.
We should have got Darnell. Yeah. I was big on Darnell.
He's such a yes.
I think he can do both though. I think he got the size and stuff like and a lot of people wouldn't understand.
We got to understand who was in front of him too, man.
Playing the Monstars, man.
Yeah, he playing the Monstars. I'm saying I think that tight end at Georgia is crazy.
Yeah, but I don't think it translates. Like on paper, that shit looks beautiful. Like his size, speed, like Bowers, it translates to the field. Like you see him turn up, but I don't see the athletic abilities like I do with Bowers when it comes to translating to actual plays on the field.
No, my thing was they drafted the tight end anyway, and they skipped over him and drafted the old boy out of Michigan.
Value.
Yeah, I mean, that's just how they see him. Me personally, I still think, and I said it when we were, maybe in the hunt. I don't know, probably not really. I thought he was an offensive tackle that was just wasting his talent playing tight end. I said the same thing about Zion, and I still stick by that to this day because he always hurt. And I'm like, yeah, boy, you can't keep jumping up and down, bringing 260, 70 pounds down on the knees, man, with that, with the propulsion you have. So I get what you're saying there with Darnell. I think Darnell is going to be one of the more interesting prospects to see if it does translate to the next level, and if he can actually, be productive in the league. But,
I mean, because I equate it to like how you look at AR and his abilities as a quarterback, and everything didn't translate as far as numbers wise and what you saw on the field at Florida, but you saw the potential.
Yeah, I mean that's a very fair assessment. There's a lot of guys that shock you at that next level when they get in the right system, in the right situation. You're like, damn, I didn't see that guy doing all that. I thought, hey, he might could play. Even like a guy like Sam Shields. I thought, okay, maybe Sam could play at the next level, but for Sam to have as long his career as he did, starting at cornerback, coming out of Miami, I definitely didn't see that because he only played 1 year corner for us, and they switched him his last year. He was wide receiver previous to that. So for Sam to have the career that he had was definitely a shock. So he could be that kind of guy. It's such a crapshoot. You're trying to evaluate and see who could keep going and who could take it to the next level. But I get your gripe though. If you thought he was high in your mind, and they decided to go a different direction.
I mean, the Cowboys always do that for me, and that
it work out sometimes.
We're gonna keep it moving. We got D-Rob in the chamber, bro. You got any more? A guy in that mode you're talking about, a guy that surprised me and panned out a little better and lived up to their potential or exceeded their potential. I thought Jimmy Graham was a good guy in that type of role. Absolutely. I didn't foresee him playing that well in the league. Yeah,
I'd like to say I did, but I'd be lying.
Nobody's seen that happen.
Nah, not that good. I thought he could play, but I didn't think he'd do what he did.
All right. Before y'all rush, I know y'all about to rush me off, so I want to go ahead and let y'all know. Give your flowers real quick. Let you know the new content fire. You know what I'm saying? I love all the confessionals, and Silk was he was a little bit more disrespectful in his confessional. So if y'all don't mind, I want to give
turn up a little bit.
Yeah, I want to give a fan confessional.
Yeah, bro.
I get. Let's talk. Let's go.
To the glass of God, bro.
You ready for
me? Go ahead. Bro.
I'm ready.
I think Florida and Miami might be tied neck and neck with Delusion. Yeah, y'all tied. But that ass whooping Miami got last year is still lingering. So y'all look quiet this all season, and y'all motherfucking look quiet. And next time y'all do a confession, give my boy Larion a bigger, give my dog like a love seat or some shit too.
Thank you. Boy, put me in a toddler chair. Hey, you like the 6'7" person told me that. Said, man, the only thing disrespectful was the size of that chair y'all put Larry in. It was all the same size chair, granted. but I'm way bigger than them boys.
It just wasn't one size fit all.
Yeah, it was definitely not one size fit all. That little ass chair. I was, man, Lion, what
I'll tell you what, while we talking confessionals, Lion set me up because I asked him in the video, I said, yo, this chair kind of deep. And if I sit in it, I'm going to be in the water a little bit, Playboy.
Man, Lion set up a lot of people, bro.
He set you up too.
Yeah.
We ain't going to get your shoes, man. We had a video come out, man. All my shoes showing. And of course, man, my delivery is so good. I'm tearing Miami ass. So all these guys got, you in the water, motherfucker.
I think told you about that.
Lion set me up, man.
I forgot socks and stuff. Back on black socks and white shoes.
Yeah,
some white
I was so mad at them black socks, boy. I kept telling CJ. I told CJ about 2-3 times, man, take them socks off, man. Just go with it.
Man, don't worry about it, bro. We ain't need shooting down there.
We ain't need shooting down there.
We'll give them a little more creative direction next time. I want
set us up, fam.
I want the weird angle where like it's the side of my head really, really close while I'm talking. That kind of shit. Like, especially if you're gonna put me in a chair that's meant for people 170 pounds and under, man. Y'all know I couldn't fit in that goddamn chair.
Oh yeah, you swallowed that motherfucker up too. I ain't gonna
squeeze my fat ass in there, but I made it happen. Pause, yeah, definitely.
I ain't got a pause. I said you swallowed that motherfucker.
No.
Nigga, you
my dog.
No, Larry, I heard you talk to Wilfong. I'm gonna be real with you. I'm cool with it. I want all us to be good, but I'm gonna be real with you because y'all gonna be ass juice, and we gonna kick y'all ass again.
Think so? I think honestly,
right,
I really do.
You tell me what you think y'all gonna be.
Real talk, 7-5, 8-4. Not great. I'm not saying we're gonna be great. I think we'll be improved this year. Yeah, we like he said, we're gonna be really young still. So
is 7-5 a good year to y'all?
Yeah,
it's an improvement.
I think that'd be amazing, yo.
That'd be amazing.
Y'all came off of 4 losing seasons. See, that's what I'm saying.
What we gotta do is I'm being 100% real though. Y'all
okay, but I'm saying
that's
what I'm saying. Y'all should see it the same way. You niggas was losers 4 seasons in a row. Of course, 7-5 is a good year.
Hey, but
y'all couldn't do it. It took you 4 years to win.
You know, think about the old days. The old days.
Don't let him get away with that, sir. I know you.
I'm serious about this.
You gotta let it unfold, Larion.
I feel you, but
you gotta realize too, though, it's no closer to save y'all because y'all 5-7 the fucking.
Yeah, but I skipped.
Oh, they're gonna be 5-7 again. They're gonna be worse than 5-7. Go ahead.
No. I'm keeping it a foul. I'm not.
I think the schedule's a lot tougher this year too.
I have to relook at it. Ain't nothing that tough in the ACC.
No, every year you look at Miami schedule, like there's 10 wins.
It's always looks good, right?
Yeah, right. Like, not this year though. Not this year.
I mean, but everybody else, everybody else is switched up too, though. So we got to play Clemson. Obviously, we got to play Florida State.
Got to play Clemson.
I don't even think we got. Do we got Carolina this year?
No,
I think we do. I have to double check.
They had to take them kids off.
But there's nothing. But that's seriously like outside of Clemson.
You got Drizzy Drake out there. You don't want to run into that buzz.
Oh, no.
We actually did a great job against Drake. They beat us, but we did a good job against Drake. He really didn't do much of nothing against us last year. I mean, Florida State obviously
he slowed down second half. First half, he was on fire.
I mean, hey, whatever half it take. If at the end of the day they don't get it done. If at the end of the day, he did not look like an all-star. And I like the kid. I really think he's going to be a good quarterback. I think he'll probably be number 2 off the board next year. He's really talented.
I thought in that game, play calling contributed to his second half slump. They took the foot off the gas a little bit. In my opinion, I could be wrong.
He threw a couple of picks too, I think, right?
Right.
Yeah. Right. And I mean, and that's where it gets a little tricky, right? Like what may have been the looks we gave them and what's the adjustments that they made. That's where the coaching chess match comes in.
We got to keep it moving. We got to get Rob on here. Trey, wait.
Yeah, Trey.
Man, I had some more heat too, boy.
We're gonna have a winning season, and I think that's an improvement.
Mark me down for the motherfuckers having less than 7 wins.
No, just because it took y'all 5 years to win again.
Florida, y'all ain't gonna have PJ DJ. That motherfucker ain't walked through the tunnel. So y'all gotta ask for me coming too. I just want.
You don't believe
that? You think they're gonna have a losing season too?
No, I think we're gonna kick their ass. I don't think they have a losing season. They might do good.
What you got them at 6-6, 7-5?
I got to talk to my team, and we'll come up with some. Y'all rush me out.
All right, man, we got to move, man.
I got a good one too. I got some smoke for y'all boys. All right, so Dion about to make history, right? Prime about to make history.
Right.
This is my last shit. Prime about to make history. He about to be the first person to have his son go in the portal.
Watch out, man. Watch out. All right, we out, man. Hold it down, Trey.
Later on, oh my God.
Hey, man. Hey, you got the
Hold on, real quick.
podcast going. Hit mute. D-Rob, you got the show going?
Nah.
You got an echo.
You sure that's me?
Hold on a second.
No, we good. That was Trey.
Nope. Okay, cool. No, it's still there. Bear with us one moment. Hit that like, subscribe.
Hey, D-Rock, just mute for 1 second. Yo. Yeah, we gotta have a conversation like this, man. So get your text off. Got to mute back and forth.
We got to mute back and forth. It's definitely you, man. One time for everybody that's hanging out with us live on Sundays. We're gonna keep the show going this off season on every Sunday, and every now and then we're gonna mix it up with these no cap type vibes where the audience and the fans can come and engage with us a little bit. Hit the like button, subscribe. Super chat is available if y'all want to hang out. If y'all too scared to join the show. I know some of y'all ugly and y'all hide behind logos and profile pictures and all that, but. For the people with decent faces, if y'all want to come hang out with us, just shoot us your email.
Sebastian can't save you right now.
Yeah, Sebastian can't save you, bro. You got to bring that ugly mug on you.
There's way more Gator boys in my mentions. I'm pretty.
One time,
I ain't got to worry about it. What's up, D-Rob?
D-Rob, what it do, my guy?
Man, what going on? Y'all boys straight?
Cooling, man. Cooling, man. You heard what Fong said about the class rankings?
Of course, you already know it. We gonna end number one. Ain't nothing changed.
I told him.
I think he got y'all at one right now as far as like recruiting.
Yeah, early predictions.
None of that matters, man. Fong can't get out there on the trail for y'all. Fong also got y'all having a good football season, so I don't think he really know what the hell he talking about, D-Rob.
He said like 75.
Nah, it's 75-4. It's gonna be something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I mean, what you want me to predict? 10? No, we ain't winning 10. we might get the 9 with a bowl game, but shit, that's it.
Yeah, now you're talking a little reckless. Now in the bowl game, that's what we're going. We gonna get the 10 real soon, man. We gonna get the 10 real soon.
But I'm saying, hey, hold on, CJ. If we go 8-4 and win the bowl game, that's 9 wins, right? That's what I'm saying. I don't think we gonna do 9 in the regular season. No, I don't believe that.
We ain't got to explain.
I got a tip of my. I can't lie. A line this year did a lot to me. Did a lot to my soul. So I got to chill. I got to vibe for a little bit.
What you got on your mind, though, bro?
Yeah. Talk with us.
Oh yeah. Shit. Where should I start? Oh, hey. So I looked up that stat right that Fawn was talking about. You wouldn't believe who the top 3 teams is as far as draft picks the last 3 years. Y'all never guess.
In the ACC?
In the ACC.
Let's go.
It's Pitt, Clemson, and North Carolina. They got the most draft picks. Like, and then after that, it's like Virginia Tech and Miami and Florida State. It's like they bunched in together, man. That's crazy. And Virginia Tech, they've been terrible, man. That's crazy.
That is.
Like I said, man, if you want to go pro, you got to hit Gainesville, baby. That's just what the vibrations are, D-Rob.
Yeah.
No, man. Hey,
my judgment to next year.
Yeah, yeah. See, CJ, that's been y'all spin. That's the spin. When we had everybody come back.
It's true,
bro. But y'all pro day had like 6-7 players, bro, and only got one got picked.
Okay, so let's talk about the pro day guys. We had mutuals real quick, D-Rob. So the pro day guys, we had Jamie Robinson, we had Pokey Wilson, Robert Cooper, Dylan Gibbons, Cam McDonald, exactly, offensive lineman, Larion, Cam McDonald. These are the pro day guys.
But see, my thing is the Gibbons guy he was from Wisconsin, right? So I would have thought, Notre Dame. So you'd have thought that he probably would have got some type of, you know what I'm saying, buzz or anything, even as a late draft pick, because I mean, it was a lot of linemen got picked, a lot of linemen. Then with the Pokey Wilson, like, you know, you got fans retweeting when he burnt DJ Ivey, but it's like he didn't get drafted. So what's the point of that? Like, that made no sense to me.
I mean, you got. I mean, it kind of do make sense. You got if you're looking at that perspective, you got a team with a bunch of undrafted guys going on top of Miami. So we talking about your boy developing. Is he really developing?
He only had
like I said, he only had
exactly.
like I
So that's what I'm saying. So people saying like it was someone said, I think old boy's probably a terrible recruiter, excuse me, but we know he can develop. I mean, based off what?
Who's a terrible recruiter?
Who's a terrible recruiter?
They said Dye may be a terrible recruiter, but he's good at development. Like, based off what? What has he done so far to say he's a good developer? I understand.
I mean, what? So I mean, you got to think about it. He had the last 3 drafts. He had like 6 DBs.
Do not say Georgia.
He's had 6 D. He's had 6.
Georgia, bro. Do not. No.
He's had 6 DBs. So why he can't say Georgia? So who can't say? Okay, so he can't say Georgia. So he can only say Tyreek and DJ Ivey, right? That's what you're telling me right now.
Y'all truly believe that he has a hand in the Georgia development? Like y'all.
Hey, hold on, real quick, see.
Hold on. So
hold on, real quick, bro. You gonna have to mute when you're not talking, bro. It's gonna sound like spaces or something. We're gonna sound nuts, bro. So I know it's getting a little heated, but that echo is going crazy. I want the audience to get, you know what I'm saying, the full beef and back and forth for this shit, man. So get a little organized with it. Go ahead. Proceed with the shit.
Do you truly believe that he has a hand in Georgia's development? You know, Kirby Smart's wheelhouse is what?
Defensive back.
Okay, defensive back.
Who is the defensive coordinator? Hey, man,
who was the coordinator?
Who was the what? Lanning? Not Lanning. It was Lanning. Lanning last year was Lanning. Not this past year, but the year before that it was Lanning. But I don't know who their DC is this year. Who is their DC this year? I really don't know. Oh, Schumann.
Champ.
Man, I'm not taking shit off my damn resume. You was a damn fool if I'm gonna take something off my resume. And you gotta count it because you got guys like, I wasn't gonna say no shots, but fuck him, he grown man now. Jaden Hasselwood, who's a 5-star, who talked all that shit, shitting on Miami, went to Oklahoma, transferred out of there, went to Arkansas, and then went undrafted. So I'm definitely gonna count that on my resume. So just being a high-ranked guy don't necessarily always pan out. So yeah, he get to count them. Absolutely, he gets to count those guys.
Hey, cause CJ, you got to think about it. After that championship game, that when he took the pick 6 back or whatever, they was talking about him coming out that year as a first round pick, and Adai was his coach. Now Adai leave, you have a whole nother coach, and now he dropped all the way to the 4th, 5th round. So what is it?
Ringo was not good. That's what it is. Like if you look at the film, he wasn't that good. And Alabama was killing him last year. The same draft he was talking about, Alabama, them receivers, they was killing him last year. He couldn't do anything. He couldn't compete with them guys. It's been evident by Ringo as far as if you got competent receivers, he was getting cooked.
Okay, but what I'm saying is they still had him as a first round pick, regardless if he was getting cooked or not. Now this year they said it. Marvin Harrison took any draft stock he had away because Marvin Harrison he was routing that boy up like left and right, and that really kind of killed it this year. But what I'm saying is like, man, like we if y'all don't want to give him credit for that, then okay, we'll give him credit for Tyreek and DJ Ivey getting drafted. Like it's like people want to go both ways and play both sides of it. And it's like, bro, you can't have it like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh yeah, he was under him for 3 years, and then his last year he not under him, and he gets drafted, but he don't get no credit for it because that wasn't his position coach that last year. Like for me that don't make sense.
No, what I'm saying is we're talking about this is the situation, the place he's at. It's not about him coaching for 3 years and he leave. It's just Georgia. I'm not giving that DB coach that much credit at Georgia. I'm just, no matter who
you can't, man. You got Champion and Kirby there. You can give him some credit. I'm not gonna say you can't give him no credit.
I'm not gonna say he's the developer of the position.
You got 2 GOATs. You got 2 of the greatest DB coaches ever. You know what I'm saying? They from the greatest DB tree ever with Nick Saban. That tree of Muschamp, Kirby, those guys are DB guys. They recruit that position at a very high level, bro.
And I got
all the GOATs at DB white. That's crazy.
Nah. Corey Ramey's not white.
Well, y'all need 3. So 3 out of 4.
Unfortunately, Larion, they get jobs a little bit easier than some of our.
But I do want to say one more thing.
I'm joking, but not in all seriousness. In my joke, in all seriousness, sometimes the greatest teachers aren't the greatest players, obviously.
Yeah,
they can see it, but they can't do it. You know what I mean? And vice versa. A lot of the greatest players can't be the greatest coaches.
Yeah, I got one more take in in regards to what D-Ross said about getting drafted. Them guys getting drafted don't mean they're developed, because we looked at Miami, them boys were not looking good at Miami, just quite frankly. So them getting drafted isn't a reflection of his development. His development is what they look like on the field at Miami. During that point in time, they didn't look like you cannot tell me Stevenson last year. I'm not gonna say that. Well, I'm gonna say that.
Stevenson didn't have a bad. He did not have a bad year. He really didn't have a bad year. I mean, point blank, like the Middle Tennessee game didn't do a lot for the whole secondary, because the boys were getting torched left and right. I will say that, but he did not have a bad year at all. So you trying to tell me it wasn't nothing on the field, but he still went second round? Like that has to count for something. So if it's not on the field, then why did Kylie Ringo go fifth round instead of going? If it's all about, like, if it's not about what's on the field, and it's probably about measurements and speed and all that, but I'm saying, but his measurements was better than Tariq. You can look it up. He had better measurements, and he was faster than Tariq. So why did he go fifth round and not go second round like Tariq did?
Because that film accounts for something. His film was terrible.
I get what you're saying.
And you say he was a preseason. I mean, not preseason. He'd have been a first round pick last year. I guarantee you that the whatever hype he had leading up during the season, once that draft shit really hit, it was nowhere in hell he was going first round last year, just because that film it gets brought up. So I'm not even trying to get hung up on the Ringo situation thing like that. But for the 1 year he's been at Georgia, I can't say he's an elite developer. That's his point. That's the whole, to sum everything up, not Georgia, excuse me, at Miami, to sum everything up, I'm not going to say, oh, he's a good developer because what he did at Miami last year. I can't say that. I can't say that.
Yeah, it's tough to say because Tyreek was already projected to do well anyway. So same thing for Kyle. It's a weird thing. I'm when it comes to development, I've always had like a little bit of an stance on some of this stuff, because a lot of the guys that get a ton of credit bring in all this, top flight talent as well. It's not like they take in, we talk about Heartline. Heartline ain't turning 3 stars in the first round. It's like that. He's taking 5 stars and make sure they maximize their potential. So I'm always a little iffy on the developmental thing. It gets a little tricky because either way, you can attach a die to both guys. You can attach them to all 3 guys we mentioned. So, to me, it's kind of like, how do you really?
You can attach another guy to it, if we're being honest.
Who that?
DeMarcus Van Dyke.
DVD.
Yeah.
I mean, you can because he was in that room. I mean, he even though he was the analyst, he coached them. He coached them boys up too. So
and he was
he was a coach, but he get the same criticism as a dad get. Like, I mean, they both. He was in that room too. So yeah, they all get credit. I don't say, oh, it's just only a die. No, we know that DVD had a hand in it. Even when stuff was going wrong, DVD had a hand in it. So it's like, it is what it is for me. Like, for me, it don't matter. I'm just glad them boys got drafted. Like, I didn't even think Ivy was gonna get drafted because he was too inconsistent. Like, the whole time he's been there, I think his sophomore year probably was his best year. His last 2-3 years, he really ain't did nothing. But you know what I'm saying? Like, it's a good thing he got drafted. I hope he make that team.
I had him as a 7th rounder. He got drafted by the little USFL league too. So I thought 7th round. Damn, I lost my train of thought just that fast. Never mind. So let me shut the fuck up because I don't remember what I was about to say.
KP said you got Miami for 7 L's, man.
Nobody asked KP what he thought.
I thought he was bringing a little hat to the show, man. He bringing
he was having I sent you in the chat. I know you running both. I told him it's gonna probably be tough to get him in and get a link.
I get it. Yeah, keep conversation going. I get him on here. Ain't no problem with that. I don't figure this shit out on the fly. See, I got it kind of figured out over here.
Check the chat messages then.
Bring that pressurized ass cap on. Hat like an airlock, man. That's my guy, man.
But
how do you feel about how you think the Bills did?
Oh, I liked it. You know what I'm saying? I honestly thought that they was gonna grab Torrance in the first round because we was looking at trenches. We was looking at an offensive lineman. It's so when we jumped ahead of Dallas, once I saw that, I said, yeah, we either probably gonna go tight end or something like that because I was high on Kincaid. Like I wanted Kincaid, you know what I'm saying? Whatever. I didn't think he was even gonna last that long. Once I saw all the wide receivers start dropping and Addison, another one of them didn't go past that, I said, yeah, we probably gonna get a tight end, and we got who we wanted. Then we got Osiris in the second round, which was good. We had a pretty good draft. I mean, we got Shorter. I mean, A.T. Perry was out there. I probably would have took A.T. Perry over Shorter. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, but but you know what's funny, Silk? We signed Richard Garage too, bro. as an undrafted free agent, bro. We got four Gators, bro. I'm like, what the hell is going on? But we had a decent draft. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, we got Josh Allen some more help. You know, yeah, it was pretty cool, man. I ain't mad at it at all.
I haven't had terrible luck with Gators in the pros. I actually had the worst we probably did, and it was kind of worse than the best, was Ray McDonald, who was just a hell of a player, and then he got caught up with I think it was some domestic stuff.
They ran my boy through there, man. Shout out to Ray Mack. Ray Mack from Belgrade, bro. He from the crib 5'6".
Yeah,
but
he was a baller for us, man.
Yeah, he was hooping, man. Then they got caught up in some stalkerish type stuff, man. They got him up out of there, and he never bounced back, really. All the charges got dropped and whatnot, but he never bounced back. You know,
and that's all it takes. And you know, for better or worse, and we don't want to minimize victims, but oftentimes this stuff is just speculation. It's vengeance. It's, you know, people see you doing well and they get mad, especially your side chick, bro. Your side chick ain't feeling that. Especially you try to take your side chick and move from second string to fourth string, and you out here winning.
The fourth is wild. That's low on the depth chart.
You're right. She's got to move. You know, I've made some acquisitions. We're moving the roster around a little bit, and I try to move her to the fourth stringer, man. Basically, practice team. And yeah, that's not going to go well for a lot of people. And like I said, I don't want to minimize victims at all, because I do believe that there are actual victims out there. But very often, this stuff turns out to be bitterness. Instead of just understanding, you just enjoying the ride, baby. You know, you're supposed to capitalize on the moment, win while you can win, and get out. You know, but a lot of times it don't go that way. And I'll stand on that. Yeah,
I appreciate
it. And then, Dye was Georgia DB coach 2 years before he got to Miami. It wasn't 1 year; it was 2 years. He was there 2 years.
I thought
it was two.
Okay, two. Okay. I mean, you know, the guy's been heralded as a guy that probably can be a defensive coordinator in the future. I think I mistakenly said head coach one time. I mean, maybe he could. I don't want to hate on no brother, but he is a guy that is expected to possibly be defensive coordinator in short time. And
this is last year too. This is last year. He only got a 2 year He only got a 2 year contract. So, I mean, this year, I mean, to be honest, I mean, if recruiting don't pick up, which it probably should, but depending on how they do, like, he might not make it back. And we already know what's in the chamber. So we ain't even got to discuss it.
No, it's funny. It's only echoing when y'all two talk to each other. But
whenever I interrupt a little bit. Whenever he's off mute, it's echo.
Oh,
that's
okay.
I interrupted.
Yeah, we mentioned earlier our boy DVD. He's going to be with us next week, correct, fellas?
Yeah, we got. Might as well announce it's kind of brought up.
Yeah, let's announce it now. We're gonna put the tweet out in a little bit. Go ahead, CJ. You got it.
Yeah, we got DeMarcus Van Dyke, former Miami Hurricanes player, coach, and current FIU cornerbacks coach. He's going to be on the show with us next weekend, next Sunday live at 6. So make sure you guys tap in. It's going to be a real fun conversation, a lot of dope convos, and maybe get to the bottom of a few things.
And future Miami DB's coach as well. So
yeah, I would not.
I'm speaking into an existence. I mean, I know that's how you want to feel, but we're going.
That's how I wouldn't count it out for sure.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I'm just so used to you hating. I wouldn't.
Yeah, but goddamn, man.
CJ ain't gonna always troll. He gonna keep it a buck every now and then.
That's right. That's a fact. That's what we do on this show.
I gotta sprinkle the truth in a little bit.
Trolls is for fun. We enjoy that, man. That's what, you know what's so funny. I don't troll that much, boy. When I said that shit by AR, man, I had people talk
they gonna come.
Kind of shit.
Welcome to the party.
Do no backflip. I never said I could, bitch.
Y'all need to teach Van Dyke some backflips to save his career for sure.
He okay. Don't worry about my guy.
TVD gonna be okay, man. He gonna have a much better year. He gonna have a much better year. It's something that the quarterback said when they did a conference like during the spring, they said, man, it's good to have one voice in the room. You know what I'm saying? Because last year they had Ponce in one ear and they had Gaddis in another ear, and they not learn. It's basically not the same thing. Like they're not teaching them the same thing. So I know it was a lot of conflict going on. But with Dawson, I think that it's gonna be. I think it's gonna be okay. I think it's gonna be okay. Not saying he about to be, about to be some Heisman type stuff, nothing like that. But I think he's gonna have a year that's gonna kind of be similar to the year he had before this past year because of the offense and of what they're trying to run.
If their season go bad though, because it could go bad, just in case, learn how to flip.
What D-Rod, what do you think about y'all weapons though? The weapons around him.
So I to be honest, like I was kind of slightly impressed with the wide receivers during the spring and in the spring game. They did a lot better than what I thought. Like people were saying we need 2 wide receivers. I don't think we need 2. I think we probably need to grab 1 if we can. It's a couple that done hit the portal, but the wide receivers actually showed improvement. You know what I'm saying? And it's not a bad thing. We'll, as far as the young pups, Ray Joseph look like he gonna be that guy coming out the slot. So X definitely probably gonna lose some reps, just being honest with it. Them guys, yeah, man, I'm sorry, he gonna lose some of them reps, bro. He gonna lose some reps because they can't keep Ray out the field. Like he's showing it, and like even in the scrimmages and all that. Like when he catch one, like nobody's catching him. Like he gone. You know what I'm saying? I am a little concerned with the running back room. I'm concerned about the running back room a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Because like I said, it's only 2 healthy running backs right now. So we gotta wait for Fletcher to come in. We know Fletcher he probably gonna get some snaps. So I mean, hopefully they hit the portal and grab somebody else. So I mean, I'm okay. Offensive line, I just don't need Jalen Rivers at left tackle. To be honest, we need somebody else, or Okunlola. He need to gain some strength real quick because they like what he's doing. They just feel like as far as strength and what he does, like he needs to build up some. But other than that, I think we'll be okay. We'll be okay. Say it again. What'd you say, CJ?
No, mute it real quick. No, I was saying I hope y'all play them pups this year. They may be good in the long run, but let's bring them out here now so we can welcome to the party. Welcome to the party, real young.
Pup will scratch the shit out you too. I ain't think about none of that.
Hey, Marigo was doing his thing though. Marigo, he's really doing his thing, and they're really impressed with him. So he's starting. You know what I'm saying? He's definitely preseason All-American, freshman All-American type. Like for real.
All that take is reps. I don't know if
he getting out there. He gonna get out there at right tackle. I like it actually, and I like the idea of moving Javian Cohen to right guard to help him out as a seasoned veteran. Keeping Lee at center, moving Jalen back inside at left guard where he's a much better player, and Zion get back. Zion is back for those who've been asking. I did the research.
Yeah, what a picture, man.
I don't have a picture. I'm not at this.
You got a picture. Have him hold on 2 spoons too.
Yeah,
with a day's newspaper. Zion is back. Zion is honestly just getting himself back in condition for the season. I'm not gonna cap. There's no cap on Sundays, even though it's not officially no cap. We will need him to have a successful season. But the expectation is for Zion. He's basically building the strength back up. He's been out for a while, so he's just building the strength back up to get back out there and play left tackle. We will need him to have that successful season of 8. He's an 8 win. He gets us to 8.
He's worth That's for how one win. He worth for 1 win. Worth 1 win. You got y'all at 8.
7, 8. Yeah. I don't think it would be 500. If we got Zion, I definitely got us at 8.
Definitely, okay.
Yeah, I'm feeling very good if he's there.
D-Rod, we got the little hat in the chamber, so we're gonna keep it moving here in a little bit, man. You got any fresh new takes before you get out of here, man? How you feeling? Right now, y'all dead last in recruiting. Y'all the caboose of the big
last
3.
time too, ain't it?
Man, we know what you finna say.
So like I said, ain't worried. It's gonna pick up in June. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna be watching the film again. we're gonna have some more heat coming. Like I said, I love what y'all boys doing. You know what I'm saying? I hit y'all up every now and then on the personal, make sure y'all straight. Keep doing what y'all doing. Can't wait till the season start, and go Canes.
Yes, sir.
Already, man. Hold it down, man. Hey, keep spending them 0 stars, man. Better. Hope is on the way.
They get stars every time they commit to us, baby. They go from 0 to tree. Yeah. Friend of the show.
My guy.
Like, you shrunk the hat more? How you got a smaller hat?
Listen. I don't need to hear nothing out of you. Tiny Hat Gang, we are back in this.
What's up, my boy?
Sir. What's going on? Listen, there's been a lot of lies. There's been a lot of lies told at this here dinner table tonight.
Talk about it, baby.
And I'm tired of it. I'm tired of it. All right. And frankly, listen. I've been dancing. I've been getting my two-step on all off season. After we had to put Miami down, we put Florida down. You know, we out here enjoying life out here. But then the lies start to hit the timeline. Mm-hmm. And I don't understand what's going on. First off, third and fourth rate trolling going on. I don't understand what these Miami fans got going on out here. What is giving y'all this hope? Where is all of this like joy coming from? The only Miami fan I listen to is Groove, because Groove is the one out here speaking the truth. That's it. The rest of y'all are delusional. Y'all out here lying. It don't make no sense. That boy Groove, the only one out here telling the truth. The rest of y'all just go sit down somewhere. All of y'all, just get out of here. Get out of here. All right, y'all make it. Listen, I'm calling the cops because there's noise complaints coming from the other side of the complex. Right? Y'all on the other side of the lake and interrupting my party going on over here. We don't need to hear all this poverty out here in these streets. I'm done with y'all. I'm done with y'all.
Groove, but you just proved a big point. Groove is the Rivals fans' favorite Katie's fan.
Because Groove is spitting that real talk out here.
I'm very real, bro. I get love from the Gators and the Noles. I'm very real.
Y'all are mid at best. I'm telling you, I got y'all losing 7. I got y'all losing 7. And then y'all possibly gonna lose 8 because y'all gonna come off of that bye week. Y'all gonna have that trap game against Georgia Tech, overlooking that so y'all can play UNC, that big rival that y'all got going. It's gonna be beautiful.
What's y'all record against UNC?
It don't matter. It's better than y'all. We'll lose that.
I do lose them. I seen it.
Oh, baby.
I seen it. That boy run down the field.
Matt Brown ain't beat Florida State a day in his life.
Mac has it. I ain't paying them no attention.
Mac hasn't beat y'all.
Right. We ain't got to pay them no attention, but y'all do. And that's all that matters. We ain't paying no attention to none of y'all. Anyway, how you feeling out here? How you feeling out here, Corey? How everything going?
Oh, I'm feeling glorious, man. Blessed and highly favored. I just need a quarterback, man. Everything around my quarterback is fine. If I get a quarterback, cool. If not, I think my running game going to be one of the best in the country. I was around some of the Florida players this weekend. They was in the room with some UCF dudes, man. My defense is going to be bullish. Very, very high on my defensive line. My front 7 is going to be one of the best in the country. So I think we're going to punch the shit out of some people. It's going to be, starting with Utah. We're going to go out there in the mountains. Rising's is having some more issues with his health. He got re-injured in spring. We're gonna them little ass people they got in the trenches, just like we did this last year. We're gonna go down there and bully that shit around in the mountains. And Montreal, Johnson, ETN are the best combo in the country. I expect Mazuka and the offensive line to lay on some shit. And my defense to shut some shit out, man. I got the best cornerback. I got the best cornerback combination as well. I'm gonna go ahead and put that take out there now. My corners are the best cornerback duo in the SEC, man. Shout out to that. Devin Moore and Jason Marshall, bro. Lockdown shit.
Okay.
No. y'all are poverty too. And it's okay. It's okay. Y'all were poverty last year. Y'all gonna be poverty again this year. And it's gonna be okay again.
Poverty. But we took the boys. So much poverty. They went down to the wire, Larion, and then they had confetti. They rushed the field.
Listen.
Our wide receiver room was decimated. Like our whole wide receiver, we was playing walk-ons at receiver. Decimated squad. Half the players kicked off the team. Half the players already in the portal. Last game in Super Bowl.
AKP. They say Trey Benson still running on. They say Trey Benson still running the ball right now.
I gotta get it. We laid on that shit now. Like, don't get brand new. We laid on that shit now.
A win is a win. I don't care. A win is a win. That's all I need now. I don't want to hear.
My boy is correct.
It was still poverty. Y'all got a top 5 pick in the draft. and y'all boys couldn't beat us.
Well, you got to
And
play. It's
y'all
a
out here
team
talking
game.
like
You
we
got to put
crazy.
defense on the field, man. You got to play. It's a team game. You got to put a defense on the field. And I'm 100% about my defense. They were subpar. But when you talking about the quarterback, he wasn't the reason we lost them games. He averaged 34 points a game that last year. So he wasn't the reason why we lost those games and we got 6 wins. And we want to talk about the number 4 overall pick in the NFL draft, AR Big 5 Richardson.
And Big Bad Mert's about to come out there and put y'all over the top because that's about to be hilarious.
No.
I can't wait.
Have you given
I
real
love
quick,
it.
Silk? Have you given a like season prediction? I don't remember.
Nah, bro, it's too early for that, man. Season prediction. Nah, I'm a far away from it.
You gonna hold on?
Here's the thing, like I think you got to study your opponents in the league, right? You're not playing your roster, you're playing against other rosters. Now, quarterback turnover in the SEC and the SEC East is very prevalent. Everybody's turning over quarterbacks in the SEC East, including big dogs at the top, Georgia, Tennessee. Think about it, Kentucky. All these teams put quarterbacks in the draft. All of them got drafted. You know, y'all ain't used to that type of shit, but that's what happened in the SEC East. All these rosters are flipping. You feel me? You know, I come to talk my shit regardless, Larry. You know the vibes around here. So all the rosters are flipping, bro. We gonna see what the rosters are like, you know, as the season starts. Who acquire what? But I be shooting out of my ass to do that when the whole SEC.
Just throw it out. ACC don't do too bad at QB. We do all right at QB. QB is a spot that we tend to do pretty decent in as far as guys getting drafted and flipping. But anyway, go ahead. National champs. Go ahead, my man.
National. Hey, hold on. Listen. Shout out to D-Rod. I love D-Rod. Following him on Twitter is hilarious. My favorite line out of his entire segment. That boy say, "Listen, June coming around. We gonna see what it look like in June." I'm like, yes, off-season champs again. So I want to hit nothing out of y'all. Games in September. Games in September. I ain't worried about none of that. Anyway, listen. I like what y'all. I like all of this talk that y'all got going on. CJ. Don't it feel good up here just to see them down there just muddling amongst themselves?
It's beautiful, man.
Just look at we sit here sipping Mai Tais on the beach out here, just vibing.
You need to tell that to your players as entering the portal, bro. Like,
listen, my bad.
They like,
third
bro,
and fourth string play
here.
Third and
trying to get that bread.
No, you ain't got a safety room for them to be third and fourth string. Now, your safety room is
why not? Listen, Travis J, as big of a hyper recruit that he was, he underperformed at the school.
Yeah, we ain't talking about that room. But what about Farmer? What about Farmer?
Farmer gonna be a fifth?
Oh, y'all thought I was still a thing? Oh no, that's you didn't hash that out.
No, I know he is.
He already back anyway.
He's out there.
He gonna be a rotation dude.
That shit dead.
They hold the boy hostage for more
not at all.
KP,
not at all.
But to be honest,
they talk about us, right?
We standing on business. We standing on business.
Give me something, my tip. I know you got
it. We ain't negotiating with terrorists. Man,
that's what he said,
man.
Yeah, y'all be
standing on business. That's all it is. Listen,
he muddied them waters and realized what it really was.
Right. He saw what it was out there. He was like, "Nah, I'm gonna go ahead and stay home." Hey, listen.
Now people want him, but it just wasn't. It's the fact that what he wanted, as far as a certain number or whatnot. He's getting paid pretty well at FSU, very well at FSU.
Right. He got what he's supposed to get out here, and that's good. I mean, listen, we ain't watching the stocks at 5 cents a share like some people are. So Miami, I don't know what y'all got going on.
We ain't got to tell you. The market will tell you.
The money is right in Miami. Y'all let that life wallet shit fool you if you want to.
No, y'all
that is one entity.
It fooled y'all ass. That's what fooled. That's what fooled y'all.
What are we talking about? Everybody got paid, bro. What are we talking about?
Yeah, they get the pay.
They got paid once.
How long your deal is?
Check's supposed to hit first to the 15th, bro. They hit on the
first.
The
15th and all, baby. I don't know what y'all talking about. I told y'all from the beginning I didn't want to get into this because I ain't no snitch, but I can't really snitch because I'm not in that organization. That was a money laundering situation. All right, we were just paying players through that organization. Life Wallet was a shell company.
Hey, Rui trying to sue everybody. These are the thoughts of Larion and not the roll-up network.
Right.
I don't know if he was laundering money. Right. I don't know if he was laundering money, but I know anybody that loud is being goofy and too loud in that position, and I call it go. Like, whatever he's doing is going to be short-term because he's too loud. And here we are.
Yeah, he did what he wanted to do. Right. For better or worse, Ruiz did what he wanted to do. He's been working with Canes Connection for a while, and you'll notice that most of the deals you see announced now are Canes Connection deals. Yeah, the Life Wallet thing is about to dry completely up, but everybody got their money. Everybody got paid. You got 2 teams to the Final Four, and attracted some talent to the football team. So everybody's good.
Keep taking that shit to the Final Four, then, bro.
That's
the
it.
field, man. That shit is buns.
Sesame seed buns, because y'all out here
Swing
being
back,
wild
man.
garbage.
Swing
That's what
back,
it is.
man. Swing back, bro.
What I gotta swing back for? I ain't told you. The money's there. These are good jokes, but the money's there. Ain't nobody broke. Nobody broke.
Hey, the boys got them checks once. They be like, hey.
Motherfucking lie.
Like
lying. See, now you just lying. That's different. If we
like
just gonna lie, we can lie. But boys
Hey.
got paid. Taxes and everything. Protected.
When that shit went dry, bro, all the collective tweets and shit and all the takes just went to the trash can. They were like, the collective sound all right, to be honest with you.
I said,
Right, motherfucker, man. That shit's not that bad. You rewind the last show.
Why would I? If he take care
they
of
got
it,
most of the
why would I?
people paying for stuff. Collective.
That's right.
Man,
No,
that
that
was
was
real
the
sassy.
Man,
Y'all got Rising Spears. That shit sucks.
Hey. I'm sorry. What's the name of your collective now, Sil? Because y'all got like 97 different names for y'all collectives.
We're victorious, man.
Canes Collective. Oh, you talking about Florida?
What they collective? They done rebranded like 7 times.
They got more. They got old boy.
Y'all got more names than the Heat Arena. Like it don't make no sense. Y'all name it. What y'all got going on?
Just so you know, we set the trends though. The very first collective in the country was the Gator Collective, man. But it rebranded to the Victorious. And I had a take, and I said this before. I didn't think Eddie had full support of the entire Gator Nation. Right.
Yeah.
Of course, the university and Billy and them guys was backing them, but the Victorious is a different type of energy around it. And as you can see, the money is flowing okay as far as NIL, bro. And also the coaches being able to talk to recruits and indulge and negotiate deals in the NIL
with the legislation
as well. Yeah,
with the legislation of the state. Yeah, oh yeah.
I know. I want to ask y'all boys, man. Let me ask y'all this too, because it slipped my mind last show. So while we kicking it, what do you guys think about the new visit thing? So players, there's no eliminate. Before it was 5 official visits. Now you can take as many as you want to take, man. What's your opinion and take on that? We're gonna get up out of here soon. We ain't gonna hang out too late. Appreciate everybody for hanging out. Hit the like, hit the subscribe, all of that, man. What's y'all take?
Let me jump in on that one first. I like it. Listen, I think they definitely should let these kids go see the school, see everything. I look at recruiting like it is like you want to buy a house. You ain't finna go see it one time, twice, and then gonna go out there and buy it. You making a big financial decision, big life decision, setting you up for the future, and your bread is gonna be on the line with that. Let them boys go out there as many times as they need be. They can go out there. They should be able to go out there officially as many times as they want. They should be able to go out there unofficially as many times as they want. It don't matter. I don't really like dead periods either. I think them kids should be able to go out there and exhaust all of their opportunities, especially if y'all talking about them having the production and this being potentially the stepping stone to them having a long career. They should be able to do any and everything that they want, talk to whoever they want, and get in there, especially with these schools that are being run like big business. Let them boys make proper business decisions with all of their options on the table. Give them every opportunity to succeed and to make that right decision for them. So I'm happy with it. Let them boys get out there as much as possible and keep it moving.
All right, KP, we're gonna keep it moving. We're gonna keep talking about that topic. We're gonna keep it moving. We got Groove, man. Miami.
Love y'all boys. Love y'all boys. Hey, TJ, we still the HOA presidents. Them boys ain't even allowed in the gate, baby. They ain't even allowed in the gate.
Only time we open the gates when we need them cut the yard, baby. That's it.
I don't need to cut my yard because knowing them, they're gonna be leaving divots in my grass. I don't need none of that. Y'all can't even take the trash out. Y'all can watch.
Y'all got grass? Y'all got grass now?
We stay with grass, baby. We got that luscious grass out front. But we'll go get
you know, Brad go out there and throw that flaming cross in the grass every game.
Either way, go Knowles, baby.
Hold it down, man. We're gonna get you a bigger hat, man. Got roll up on
Not
it.
Not at all. Tiny hat gang. We still out here, still flopping like.
Get your little hat and say roll up on it. Fuck it. You like little hats? We can get you a little hat. You my dog, man.
What up?
What's up,
It's the roll up. It's the vibes, man. It's the roll up. It's the vibes. Like we said, hit the like button. We got Miami's very own super fan, friend of the show, Groove, Storm Groove himself, throwing up to you. What it do, my guy? What's up with you?
Man, chilling, man. Chilling, man. Just got off work not too long ago, man.
We're gonna finish these takes. I don't want to get too far away from it. I know we told the fan we was talking about the new rule with official visits and all that. I want to get Larion and CJ's view on that real quick. What do you guys think about the new rule and unlimited official visits now?
You know me, man. Get off my grass, man. I like it a little old school in the 5 because I think it makes you really start focusing in on what you're trying to do.
Right.
So like, what's wrong with 5? 5 is a lot.
That's a lot,
5
bro.
schools you're really considering? Like now it's 10, 12. Like, I mean, sure. Hey, I'm not mad at the kids. I would, if you let me do as many as I want to, bro, I'm gonna take 20. Because why not? It's free vacation. But I want them to also help the young men understand that life ain't really like that either, man. So let's get a little more focused in on, hey, life really gets narrowed down into some real situations, real decisions. And you're not going to be out here being able to pick between 20 women and stuff. Like, you got to narrow it down. Well, some maybe, I don't know. Like, grew like, shit, me. Maybe you can. God bless you, brother. Maybe you can. But I like the 5 format only because I think that makes you be very serious about how you're moving and be serious with coaches and relationships and just being sincere. I think when it gets outside of that, it could get very insincere. But yeah, that's just my take on it. I'm not mad at them. I'm never going to knock these kids getting to do whatever you want to do because, like I said, if you gave me that opportunity, man, I'm taking 23 visits. Why not? But I also think it actually does them better to make them narrow things down and really focus in on, hey, what am I serious about? Not just what'll be fun. But that's my take.
No, I kind of how KP put it. I like that it makes sense. This is a big decision. Career wise, financially, everything moving forward. It's probably the biggest. Not probably. This is the biggest decision they'll make to this date, and it's kind of like buying a home. That's a big process as well, man. So let that shit be unlimited as far as unofficial visits, official visits. It shouldn't be any dead periods. These kids should be able to get on campus at any point in time and do their research on these schools because, like I said, this is deep. It'll probably be a top 3 decision they're making in life, to be honest with you, because that shit can really mold you. Well, not really, does mold you for the rest of your life in regards to where you go as far as school, NFL, even just school wise, just career wise after that degree, all that shit, it molds you for the rest of your life. So yeah, I think all that shit should be lifted as far as unofficial visits, or that's fine, but official visits and dead periods, all that shit should be taken away. They should be able to get on campus at any point in time leading up to that decision. So from that point of view, I do get it, but it will be a lot harder for college coaches because once you got that official visit in regards to no limit on that, it can pretty much let anybody come in on the last minute and kind of sway those kids to take an official visit. But again, that's just part of the territory. It'll just be more work for the college coaches. That's my take on it.
Yeah, I just think they add more chaos to the formula, man. That's my overall take. I like it for the kids. I like it. If I'm a recruit, I love it. Like Larion said, I don't want to keep regurgitating his take. I like it for the kids. Do not like it for the program. If I'm a parent, I want to narrow it down to 5. I don't want to fly around the entire country. I got shit to do, man. So me personally, I wouldn't want to do more than 5 official visits, and then also you can kind of peep which recruits are serious. If they got 25 official visits, bro, I'm gonna probably start trying to move toward the kids that can kind of narrow down their decisions a little bit than me being in a pool of 25, man. So I like it and I don't like it. There's some pros and there's some cons, but I think it's gonna be world like chaos. Out the gate, this is gonna be total chaos. And we'll see how it all folds. Rue, what it do, man? What takes you got, man? We post spring with it.
Man, I wanted to kind of pick it on, kind of jump in on that topic. Me personally, man, I think it's good for the recruits because a lot of the times we've seen situations on all 3 schools where certain parents can't make the official visit because they have to do this and they have to do that. So I think that allows each parent, what I'm saying, time to go check out the campus, official, get everything paid for. Also, you got, I'm a big Prime fan. So, what Coach Prime said, if he's in Oregon or if he's in, you're in a squad like Colorado, you can get to see you can see the springtime and you can see the summertime.
Now, see, that's one thing I think it is limited to it, though. I do think, sorry for interrupting, but I do think it's 1 per school, but unlimited overall. I do think.
Oh, so you can't see the same school multiple times.
No, not officially.
Okay. So that's what I thought. I'm thinking they can just go see that. Oh yeah. Well, if that's the case, I'm kind of with y'all on that. It's good for the kid, but like you said, So I'm gonna check out the kids that ain't got 50, visits set up because it seems like they know where they want to go. They just trying to get a free trip out you. So
Like I say, you unserious.
yeah.
And these athletes, they gotta mature quicker than the average kid. The
Kid
average
now,
kid
exactly.
could grow a little slower. These athletes, they gotta mature faster.
They gotta
They
mature
gotta make
faster now because of
adult
that money.
decisions quicker. So I want them to understand, man. Hey, look, it's serious. This ain't just playing around. Like how Hawaii cut off all them official visits because they're like, hey, man, y'all not serious. Y'all just want to come to Hawaii. And who doesn't, right? And Silk put it well too is as a administrator, I'm at school. I'm like, nah, we're not taking that official. He want to book it? No. He's got too many officials. He better fake me out. He better tell me he got 4. Take mine and then add another 8, on the back end. But I'm like, no, you're not serious about what we're really ultimately trying to do, which is put together a program. So, and he also made a great point. As a parent, I want to nail home the point to my child. Like, hey, man, let's be serious about our intentions, and how we carry out relationships, and because you never know when you're going to meet this coach down the road.
Especially
a guy
with
that
this
you
portal.
think you can spurn now, in the portal too, right? You think you could do my man dirty now, man? You may see that man in 2 years.
Exactly.
He might be at a school you want to go to, and he go, nah, he's not serious. He's a joke.
I think this, with this, it'll also make these kids be a lot more business savvy as far as making their decision too, and not playing the hat game. That's what I really want to see do away with, the hat game, throwing other schools hats and stuff like that. I'm cool with the shocking stuff, but you ain't got to be disrespectful. You know what I'm saying?
Throw my hat if you got a real offer though. Don't be throwing my hat if we ain't really called you like that,
you know
bro.
what I'm saying?
Right,
we
man,
ain't really off you. But I think like they putting things in place now where these kids gonna have to really take a business approach because you got to think,
these relationships come in full circles now, bro.
Exactly.
That portal thing, it's different.
You may have to get in that portal
and holler at that coach.
You know what I'm saying? And you gonna come back. You're gonna cross my path again, and I'm gonna say, nah, I'm gonna take this guy right here. I'm gonna do the hat trick with you this time. You feel
right.
So I think, you know what I'm saying, with the money, it's good, but it's also forcing, like you said, it's forcing these 17-year-old guys to grow up quick because we got thousands and hundreds of thousands of dollars on the line now. You know what I'm saying? So now when you playing with that money, it's a little bit more serious now, man. You know what I'm saying? So I definitely agree with y'all takes, you know what I'm saying, as far as with that. It's gonna be a tall test for these coaches to try to figure out which guys are just super serious about them and who not trying to run game. So big up, their compliance office got to do a lot of work.
Yeah, a lot.
What's your feel on we'll get into the NFL draft later, man. I seen a lot of your takes this weekend. Love your timeline and your work, man. I always got to give you credit for keeping the people. You do good polls, all that stuff. I think it's just engaging stuff, man. I know you could be polarizing. Some people don't like you. I get it, but I get it, bro. Not from my own fan base. I don't get that part. You know what I'm saying? Your shit is a little bit more polarizing than mine. But what you thought about spring football? Where y'all at as a program, after spring? What's your feel on everything? Mario, the regime?
Man,
no
y'all gonna be the first guys to get my take because I didn't speak on the actual game when I watched it. Honestly, man, I'm not impressed. I mean, it's pretty much more so than what I expected to see from some G5 coaches. I just don't see it. I don't see, you know what I'm saying? I'm worried about this season. And this is one of the few times that I've honestly said that I'm worried. I don't know if we're gonna win 6 or 7 games this year. You feel what I'm saying? I don't know if we got the staff in place. I didn't see. Of course, we had some guys out, so that's why I wanted to spare my judgment. We had some key guys out. You know what I'm saying? But with this purge that's supposed to happen, and with the guys we got in, I didn't see I'm not seeing a big difference. You know what I'm saying? The offensive line still was getting pushed around. Some of these guys that we see, that's kudos to the D linemen. Some of those guys did what they were supposed to do. But I'm on the fence. I'm on wait and see, man. Hopefully we get some good transfers in, some more transfers in as far as receivers. I think we need to be better at the receiver position. I think we'll be straight at running back. I'm kind of concerned with the corners. I'm not a fan of Adai. I don't think he's I'm not a big fan of Adai. Man, all around, bro. I just think, man, we need a lot of help in that portal, bro. And they're gonna really have to coach this season because our schedule's a lot harder.
Well, yeah, I mean, and I agree with that. Me and CJ spoke on that a little bit earlier, but I think everybody's schedule is a lot harder, just because of the way they're mixing it up now. And I like that. I'm a fan of that. For me, and again, I don't think we're gonna have like this stupendous season. I just think that some of the youth injection will actually pay off, but it's going to also come back and bite us in the ass. I think, when you put a guy out there like Maui Goa, who's probably going to start at right tackle by all accounts, but it's because he's earned it and he's doing his thing and he understands what's going on. So I think the line will be much improved from left to right. If we get Zion back, Zion's going to be huge. I really do think without Zion, it gets way more iffy. I will say that without a doubt. A healthy TVD, he went 22 for 29 in the spring game. And it's a different offense, gets a chance to toss it around. I don't necessarily think we have the explosion that we would want on the outside overall. I like Kobe Young. I'd like to see another Kobe Young, though. I'd like to see somebody kind of challenge him a little bit more there. But at the same time, too, I still see it as a ACC that isn't super deep and super strong. It's competitive because you're always playing your league, right? So that's always going to be tough, no matter who you are. If you're playing the AAC, the MAC, it's always tough playing your league. I think we got enough to go out there and win 7 to 8 games in the regular season. I think we got enough.
But that's the thing. That's not enough. This is a guy that we brought in to get us to the next level. If 8 wins is the ceiling for next season, that is a big problem. We made the wrong hire. Year 2, we supposed to be 10 wins. You know what I'm saying? We supposed to see the recruiting prowess, and these transfers should be dying to come in to play at the University of Miami right now with Mario Cristobal. And we're not seeing that, bro. You feel what I'm saying? And also what I didn't see and I'm not gonna kill him for it. I'm gonna wait till I'm gonna really, really hold my judgment till the first game. I want to see first game if we're gonna see some really creativity on offense. Because I didn't really see any creativity.
Well, spring game, right? Yeah. So I mean, you ain't gonna see a lot. That's fair.
What I'm saying is, we don't have the luxury of saying, "Oh yeah, we're gonna hold this. We ain't gonna show this."
I mean, nobody's showing their hand in the spring game. I don't care who you are. Like, you're gonna keep it pretty.
But
vanilla.
Even with what we showed, though, it was no creativity. It was nothing. It was blah.
You didn't like that we had more spread concepts versus last year.
I get that. I like that. I will like that. I do like certain aspects, but I didn't see any type of creativity. I didn't see.
No, I don't think you'll see creativity in the spring game.
I agree with Larion on that. Now, yeah.
Like,
I ain't talking about flea flickers and I ain't talking about that. I'm talking about far as concepts. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about more so route trees and I didn't see a lot of creativity with the route trees. That's what I'm talking about. I mean, you can be creative in your route tree and not show a lot. You feel what I'm saying? Like, if you watch a Alabama spring game, even though the quarterback play wasn't all that, you still seen the concepts. You still seen guys was open. You still see. I didn't see that type of creativity. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, I'm gonna hold. That's why I said that's why I didn't give this spiel on the timeline. I'm gonna wait till first game. I want to see. You know what I'm saying? What these boys, what he really working with. And Texas A&M, I want to, you know what I'm saying? I want you to blow me away. I want to see you scheme some stuff open.
Is that y'all first game A&M, or y'all got?
No, our first game is
I'm
drinking. I think A&M's our third game.
Second game, no, A&M second game.
Second
game. First game is a D1 AA school.
I think it's. Yeah, I'm like I say, I don't want.
I know
to
somebody
right now. I'm drinking.
But, we were supposed to beat middle.
First time I got to drink during the show in a long time, so I took advantage.
I
haven't been able to enjoy myself. Usually, I got to get ready for work, so I'm like, man, you can't. I got to vibe, but let's wait a little bit. My expectations weren't yours. I'll be honest with you, and I never put that expectation on any coach. I mean, look at how we're praising Mike Norvell, and I do praise Mike Norvell. I was telling Florida State fans that he was the guy when they thought I was trolling, and I really wasn't. I said I think this is a guy beggars can't be choosers right now. They were in a lot of hole, financially with the Willie thing, right? So it's like, look, you ain't gonna be able to go out there and just splurge more money. What you're looking for is a guy that's a proven winner, and Norvell was that. It took him 5 years to get it there.
But
I'm not saying it's going to quite take us.
But Larion, this is different. It was a different situation, though.
It was 5 years. Goddamn.
Well, no, my bad. Oh shit. Oh goddamn. Hold on. Shit.
It was a different situation, though. You feel what I'm saying? He came in during COVID.
I was a lot worse.
You know what I'm saying? His first 2 years is
my bad. 3.
His first 2 years is different than Mario Cristobal's first 2 years. You feel what I'm saying? Mario Cristobal coming post pandemic. He's coming through with a boatload of money. He's coming in with transfer portal is you ain't got to apply for waivers. You feel what I'm saying? It's a difference. It's a difference between when Norvell took over and when Mario Cristobal taking over. You feel what I'm saying? So that's why I
respect what you're saying in that sense, but
and plus
I've never judged a coach before year 3. I've never judged a coach for year 3, and I never will. I don't care what all these other factors are because it's going to take it takes a few recruiting cycles. So you got to get your guys in there. You got to create your culture. Your culture ain't going to be created in 1 year. The biggest mistake I thought Mario made last year was chasing Cormani McClain. I thought that was the wackest shit he did. That was the biggest failure in my eyes. If you want to talk culture change,
he did the same thing with Hakeem.
He did the same thing with Coleman.
He gonna recruit you, but he gonna chase you.
I mean, possibly. I just knew. I'm gonna tell you the difference between those guys, and you guys are right. He did chase. I had heard too many things about Cormani that I didn't like. I've never heard a bad word about Coleman that I didn't care for, nor Hakeem.
Yeah, they carry their recruitment a little different. So
I definitely heard way too many bad things about Cormani that I was like, hey, coach, if you want to change the culture, he can't be a part of this. This kid ain't going to be of the culture you're speaking of. You're looking at the potential and the talent, but he's not going to be good for your locker room.
I see both of that because I think that kind of goes to the coaching too, as far as what you could do as a coach in the development. I see both sides. Go ahead, Groove.
But this my thing though, Larion. A lot of people put Mario on this pedestal of the Nick Sabans and the Ryan Days and all that. When he came in, he was on that level.
That's too far.
He was top 3. So my thing is this: all these coaches that I can name, Nick Saban, Kirby Smart, Urban Meyer, Lincoln Riley, first and second year they won.
Who the hell telling them lies? Who the hell telling them?
I don't know.
A lot of people.
But that's what I'm saying.
A
lot of people was putting them on that level. Yeah. But my thing is year 2. You
like
see
top
a big
10.
jump from year 1 to year 2.
Mario's a top 10 coach in the country.
He was.
But this is what I'm getting at, Larry.
We discussed that, but we all know the top is super heavy.
But
the
this
top
is
super heavy and them.
But Larry, this is what I'm getting at. So if you've been held at the standard of these coaches, year 2 is when you've seen their pedigree show. If you look, Nick Saban's second year, what he did at Alabama, they went 11-2. Kirby Smart, they went to the national championship game.
In the second year?
Second year, they went to the national championship game.
Okay.
Ryan Day, second year, they went to the national championship game. You feel Urban Meyer? First year taking over a program at Ohio State that went 5-7 the year prior. They went undefeated his first year, and then went to a national championship his second year. It won it all.
You got to control your lies. Y'all took the lie too far, and then y'all expectations.
But I'm the guy that brings people back down to earth because I've been saying this that he was a fraud before he got to Miami. I've seen this.
My argument, I'm with you there, right? But my argument against it would be, I've always said there weren't but a few. That air is very rare, right? And you talk about these other schools, right? I think these other schools had been way more established. Alabama's a winner. No matter what they had done,
No,
Larion. Trust me. I'm from
because Shula was their head coach. They was down.
Shula was the head coach, bro. The year before,
yeah.
They haven't won. They didn't have a 10-win season for 10
All right,
years.
what about Oklahoma? What about Oklahoma?
Okay.
What about Ohio State? I'll give you Alabama.
Okay, Ohio State, they had fell off the wagon.
They did. They had the Tara
They had
Pryor.
Ryan Day.
They had the tattoo shit.
Ryan Day was the head coach.
I give Saban all the credit for reviving Alabama. Alabama, I believe, would have fell off the fucking map if it wasn't for him.
Exactly.
I believe Ohio State and Oklahoma, where a lot of people could have kept that thing going.
Do you know how hard it is to pick up? Do you know how good of a coach you have to be to pick up where my guy left off? What was his name for Oklahoma?
Stoops.
Stoops.
Florida
It
State
was an
head
easy
coach.
transition. That lets you know that you're a good coach. You feel what I'm saying? It wasn't no drop off. It wasn't no, hey, I need 5 years to get my players in when you got a whole transfer portal to flip your roster.
But who's done that successfully? Who are we talking about? Mel Tucker?
Yeah,
shit trash down there right now.
Nobody has really flipped a roster fast in the transfer portal
and
yet,
maintained it.
He
did a good year.
1 year. Yeah.
He had a year.
I get that,
and then
but
they went right back to shit. So I don't
sustainable.
believe. I think actually, CJ on the show, I think Florida State's done the best job of utilizing the portal to keep it afloat.
Yes.
But I don't think their whole thing flipped from the portal. I think they utilized it very well.
They had one good season too. Like it's like
and there you have it, right? Exactly.
But think about guys like Lane
if
Kiffin,
next year it goes back down, what are we talking about?
Man, I don't know, man. I'm just, man, like I said, I'm not one of these guys that's giving him I'm gonna be okay with 8 wins. No, you brought here to win games. You're supposed to be this guru.
Well,
you're supposed to be the savior of Miami. I need you to save Miami.
We got run in the chamber.
So the guy that take us to the promised land. It shouldn't take you 5 years to do that.
Man, 8 wins next year.
I need 10 wins or it's bust. 10
wins
or I'm
y'all ain't getting no 10 wins.
I love you, brother, but 10 wins. So
Hey,
you want to start over again.
I'm gonna say this: if y'all think I'm piped up on my timeline now, let us not win 10 games next year. I tell you that.
You better have a lot of time, brother.
But no, I get it. But see, this is my last thing. I do get it because this is my last thing before we get tried because we gotta get Ron. I get exactly where you're coming from because the energy was totally different, bro. The energy was totally different. Yeah, Manning was winning 7 games, right? Y'all, people were saying,
he won
okay,
8 games the second year, went 8-2, and people wanted them fired after North Carolina game.
I was there for that game. I wanted to
the
fucking
energy was
fire.
totally different, but that's what I'm saying.
my
Because
thing is
we
that
talk
they
about
don't keep
7,
the same
8 games, and that's pretty much what Manning was doing, bro. So that's why I said the energy is totally different.
And he did it in a COVID year. I mean, the man should have got at least 1 more year. You feel what I'm saying? But my thing is that, but y'all willing to give Mario 5 years?
Yeah.
And only allow a coach that was only a coach for 2.5 years to get him out the door. But a guy that's been a coach for 13 years need 5 years to turn the program around.
Because I'm trying to build a culture and I'm trying to build a system, not just a flash in the pan. TCU ain't going back to TCU is not going to be back in the Final Four next year. It's not happening.
What system has Mario built? What has Mario built?
You sit back and watch.
What has he built?
We coming.
I'm asking you, Larion. What has he built? What? Nobody can tell me what he built.
Oregon, he did a good job. Oregon. You heard Wiltfong? He did a good job in Oregon, bro.
No, but what is his system?
Yes,
that's what we got to get established, and I agree with that.
Good coaches.
That's my biggest thing. I think we need to establish a system, especially offensively, where it really won't matter very much. People will know, hey, you go to Miami, you're going to have a chance to move the ball. And we don't have that because we have way too much flux.
Because he's never called calls.
Again.
I think his thing is like he would never have a system because he's going to be chained to his offensive coordinator for the rest of his career because he's never called calls. I've been saying that from go. Like Mario's going to be chained to his offense, and that's negative recruiting from a quarterback.
Because it changes year by year.
It's going to change year by year. Whoever's going to be the OC, that's what's going to be the offensive identity. You can't bring in a Garrett Riley and say we finna run the ball 50 times a game. You can't do that. You got to, and he's not willing to let these coaches do what they need to do, bro. He's not. That's just not in his nature, bro. And he's going to still be holding on to these damn timeouts when we should be burning timeouts. He's still going to be kicking field goals when we down 25 points when we need a touchdown. He's still going to be doing the same shit next year. And watch.
That's some bad coaching for sure, boy. That shit was
watch
bad.
What I tell you, dog. And there's going to be a whole bunch of people saying, Groove, you was right. Groovy, it's gonna be a lot of retweeting, a lot of searching on my timeline. I'm telling you. I don't want him to fail, but I have no confidence in him. I want him to win. I want him to prove me wrong, but I highly doubt that he will. I'm telling you.
I got you.
I already see the writing on the wall, man. It's no way.
I got you, man.
We gotta keep moving, man.
We're gonna let you slide, bro. Yeah.
And it showed you when he didn't make the playoffs at Oregon in the easiest conference in Power 5. That let me know everything I needed to know about him as a head coach.
No, it was the easiest at that point. It definitely was.
Yeah,
I don't know. Like I said, every conference.
USC and all them boys.
I don't like to do that.
The Pac-12 back then was ass. No lie, that shit was ass.
Come on, man.
I mean, fair.
Because you got Chip was going through his shit at UCLA. USC was completely down. Like the shit was ass, but it was ass. Oregon State wasn't a good team.
And who was so big and bad in like the Big Ten?
Ohio State,
Michigan,
Wisconsin.
The knock was on Harbaugh.
It was good teams, bro. Northwestern,
you had Michigan, you had Ohio State. The knock on Harbaugh was that he couldn't get nothing big one, right? And then
understand that we're talking about a good conference. It's two conferences. We're talking about a good conference versus teams getting over the hump. The Big Ten had good conference, bro.
Tell me
they had good teams.
He lost a lot of games that he's quote unquote shouldn't have. That's been his knock. The only reason he's getting grace now is because he started beating Ohio State.
But no, that's two different topics. We're talking about two different topics.
But I'm saying,
a good conference.
You go, okay, hold on. I understand what you're saying. Hold on, hit me out real quick.
Gotcha.
So let's go Ohio State, Michigan, and then.
Why the hell we talking about
Northwestern, Penn State.
Northwestern
playing for the conference championship. Bro, you wildin' now, bro. You wildin'.
So, Larion, let me ask you this question, bro. So, if we don't beat Florida State this year,
Iowa, good football team.
Like, we're talking about good programs. Like, the Pac-12 was ass, bro. Like, you're getting mistakes between good conference,
zero offense. How do I feel? We're gonna move on off of this question from the guest. Would you say, how do I feel if we don't beat Florida State this year?
If we don't beat, if Mario go on to Florida State this year, how you gonna
get that feeling out right now? Then
I'm always gonna feel bad. It's a rivalry. I'm gonna definitely feel bad for sure. And I'm not, but I'm not gonna get rid of them because you gonna start over again. Florida State want to get rid of Norvell too, bro. Like, everybody wants to get rid of a coach after a couple of years.
How you gonna feel about Cristobal?
I said bad.
How you gonna feel about Cristobal if he go on to?
Fine.
Okay.
I'm not gonna. 0-5 is different.
I'll be honest with you.
0-5 is different.
I'm lighting some shit up, man. I'm be like, we gotta win some games. Yeah, you can't be fine with it. You know what I'm saying? It's one thing to be okay. I ain't gonna be okay with it.
0-2, I'm not like.
All right, we gotta wrap it up, fellas. We gotta
wrap it up.
Time on this live.
Yeah, 0-3.
All right, we gotta keep it moving.
Yeah. I agree. Appreciate you pulling up, bro.
All right, big dog.
Take it easy, brother.
Yeah, third.
0-2. Now you got your ass out running down the quad like you on old school, bro. You screaming.
0-2.
You screaming.
Let's start at 0-3.
Now it's a thing.
We got 0-3.
We got a friend of the show and my guy Ron kicking it with us, man.
Fellas, what's up?
Bro. Bring some calm to the show, man. Groove had it jumping on that bitch. Man, what it do, Ron?
Hey, Groove's awfully optimistic, man. I tell you what, boy, y'all believe that shit store in days gonna get you 10 wins, boy. Boy, I got a bridge in Brooklyn. I'm gonna sell you real fast.
He don't believe it. He just that's what it should be. He definitely don't believe it.
He don't believe that shit at all.
Yeah,
that's why you pushing that line so high. This second year, he's supposed to go 10 wins. Man, get the hell out of here.
I see what he's doing. He's saying an impossible feat.
But if
he's going to fail.
Let's have an honest conversation, though. When Steve was hired, and you say 10 wins in year 2, what were your opinion being at that point in time?
When he got hired, I believe we all got a little too caught up in the hype. I'm with that. The media did, we did. But
why is that? Why do you think that happened, though?
It ain't a lie. What do you mean?
Because people thought Marlon was better than what he was, to be honest with you. But that's exactly
I'm not canning him yet. You didn't like your coach.
I'm not kidding. You're missing my entire point.
You're missing my entire
point. You're missing my entire point. No one say you should can him now. I'm saying when he was first hired and going off for 7 wins for Manny Diaz and this, that, and other, and you say he only win 10 wins. He has to win 10 years in the ACC in year 2. People like, yeah, I agree. People will agree with that 100%. What I'm saying is, after the smoke, after the new car shine came off, he just wasn't who he really was at that point in time.
I think that's everybody though. I think it's rare you're gonna flip in 1 year and win 10 wins the next year.
I've seen it happen with several coaches.
happens.
It happened with Muschamp. It happened with McElwain. And it also happened with Dan Mullen. So it does happen. Like,
No, I'm saying is people.
The stars can align.
What was Nick Saban's record his second year?
Oh, them bitches was humming.
11
and that shit ain't stopped since then.
Something like that.
Nick won 6 games his first year. I believe year 2 was double digit wins, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, they went to the. That's when they played Utah.
I don't know if everybody expected that either, though.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if everybody was like, "Oh, hindsight's 2020, right?"
With Nick Saban at that time,
yeah,
people
hindsight's 2020, so we can all go, "Oh yeah, we knew Nick would win 11 games the next year." I don't know.
Nick wasn't a sure thing at the time though, because he was considered to be a bit of a quitter, because he left Miami basically in the middle of the night.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but everybody knew why he left Miami. It was because he didn't have the control he had in recruiting, and I do think the expectations in Alabama, because they always recruited well, so the talent was there. And as you see, the second year, it's not like he went crazy in recruiting. They just redid the whole roster. There wasn't no transporter then. So when he came in, they had expectations because Shula was a recruiter, bro. And Nick Saban was coming from being a national championship winner at LSU. He got the Dolphins job because he was an elite coach and a defensive mind that people respected. So when he got to Alabama with the resources that he had, people had expectations. Not year one, but people was thinking like this is going to be a turnaround, like when Urban Meyer and those big names. Okay, you're the guy. It'll be a quick flip. So I do think the expectation it wasn't what the expectations of Bama is now, but at that time it was year 2. This thing was be heading in the right direction.
I think that's fair. I think that's fair.
Ron, let's go ahead and get Ron, because I know the reason you kind of rushed because YouTube after 3 hours don't be going long.
Yeah, they're gonna get us out of here.
Yeah, good, bro. My phone's getting low anyways, man.
Yeah, man. Get your takes on, baby.
Oh man, I'm glad to see Farmar's back in the fold. In terms of him not transferring, a bit disappointed about Pittman transferring out, but. I mean, the writing seemed to kind of be on the wall with Winston Wright coming back from injury. He wasn't going to get as many snaps.
And they say, to be honest with you, man, that hip may be a little worse than what we thought initially. It's going to be pretty tough for him to play this upcoming season at all.
Damn. I hate to hear it, but
yeah, he was one of my favorites as well. But go ahead, bro.
Yeah, man. Godspeed to him moving forward, man. I know he's going to bounce back somewhere. So, But yeah, fellas, honestly, I wish I had more for you, but my phone's actually really about to die. So
sorry, man.
We're gonna get it back going soon, bro.
Look, I wasn't very prepared myself, so it's all good, fellas. Next week I will be more prepared, but y'all take it easy, and yeah, have a good week, man.
All right, appreciate you,
brother. Hold it down, my dude. Hold it down. We appreciate each and every one of you for hanging out with us, man, and showing us some love on the likes. Hit the like, hit the subscribe, all of that. I've had quite the show, man. I learned on the fly, man, how to produce this thing a little bit on the back end, man. So move kind of smooth.
I see you.
I wasn't bad, bro. Wasn't bad.
So funny, bro, because you definitely look like you look like Thug. On
that picture,
yeah. I see you on the sides, like.
Yeah,
but I say he's getting it. He's getting it. He's understanding it.
Got to make it happen, man.
Shout out to our producer Silk today. Taylor got caught up, man. He did a good job, man. Shout out to Wiltfong coming in, kicking it with us, keeping it real, having a good time with him, man.
Yeah, it was a great show, man. Make sure you guys like and subscribe, man. Like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe. DVD, DeMarcus Van Dyke hanging out with us next Sunday. Y'all pull up, bring the questions. We're going to find out everything, you know what I'm saying, what's going on. We're going to talk his career at Miami and also his tenure at the University of Miami and now coaching at FIU, friend of the show, and also almost our booking agent. We'll get Miami guest. DeMarcus Van Dyke.
Yeah, that's definitely friend of the show. And don't ask me to ask the man nothing crazy. I can't. You know, he's coaching, so he's got to do what he's got to do.
No, we're going to keep it respectful, but we're going to definitely try to get some information as well.
You ain't getting that info for another 10 years, but, you know, pull up, definitely hang out. It's going to be a great time, man. He's a hell of a character. If you guys haven't heard him before, candid guy, great guy. It's going to be a really good show. So y'all make sure y'all here next Sunday, man, 6 o'clock.
It's the roll up. It's the vibe. It's the biggest, man. We out of here, man. Subscribe, follow us on each and every platform. I was about to say Taylor Gang take us out, but I'm taking us out.
Peace.